everyone should know about the esports in your pocket.
Welcome back, everybody, here to the FISSURE Universe Ep.3. We've got one series left here today, and it is, of course, the winners series of Group A. Excited for this one, man. Team Nouns, of course, taking on Tundra. So a lot of people probably excited to see this. Two very unique teams, I would say, in terms of how they play Dota.
Yeah, I think yesterday, what was it? We saw some like Naga, Morphling support from Tundra. They did some wacky stuff, some support Leshrac. Nouns, maybe a little more standard in, or I should say consistent in what they like, but they have their own picks that this team excels with. Yuma, for example, likes that carry Marana, Copy Gunner, Let Us Fly, all have their own equivalent, like unique picks that this team goes for over other teams. So we'll see how that interacts, because I feel like both teams will focus on what they want, obviously banning a little bit like respect bans to the opponents, but I think both teams will end up with drafts they're happy with, and we'll just see whose idea works better than the others.
Yeah, and I think the draft will be quite different from what we've seen in other games, like in terms of like the bans potentially and some of the picks, but we'll have to see. I think it's, both these teams, like you said, they play a little bit of weird stuff, but it's definitely their style, and they've obviously found success on it here to be in the upper bracket, right? To be playing for that qualification for the playoffs. So we'll see how that ends up playing off. But for Nouns, they've got some big opponents, right? Like Tundra is a team where I want to say has some of the highest potential. Like Pure has really started to step up in the carry role. He has looked incredibly good recently, and just this tournament specifically. So excited to see how he ends up doing this. Of course, going to be joined by Thompson, Ramses, 9 Class, and Whitemont. So really flexible team. They've got quite the hero variety. So we'll see how that ends up playing into this.
Looks like everyone's very laid back on Tundra right now.
Yeah.
The Nouns had a little bit more laughter, a little bit more high spirits. But that's okay. Every team's got to go in with their own vibe, right? So it doesn't mean one thing or the other right now. But yeah, this is the upper bracket, or of the group stage. So whoever wins this is qualified on to the next step. Loser is not out. They are going to end up playing BetBoom, who we just saw, which that'll also be fun. Like whatever team ends up there. Yeah. For this one, I would say a lot of people would probably consider Nouns the underdog here. I think Tundra has performed a little bit better lately. Yeah, it looks like the odds favoring Tundra as well. But Nouns, I know they can do it. I know a lot of people think they can do it, but they've struggled to just always consistently do that. But this tournament, they've been looking really good, so I think they can do it.
Nouns is like one of those teams that is like a couple percentage points away from being an S tier team. Like legitimately, like this team can actually get so much done, and there is every once in a while they look unstoppable, and that's why they take games off of the literal best teams in the world constantly, or how they actually win series occasionally against some of the best teams in the world. But it's one of those things, like you said, consistency is key, and they still have like a fairly young roster outside of Fly. Like a lot of these players haven't been like playing in the tier 1 Dota scene for too long. But yeah, it's nice to see them finding some success here in this event, and we'll see how well they do against the Tundra team. Absolutely, they could take this. Like this is not like people are saying, yeah, Tundra's the favorites, but I could very easily see this being a Nouns victory, and they make it.
Yeah, I think the draft will help determine that.
Yes.
Nouns often comes in with a pretty clever idea for the draft, and then the question is if they're prepared for then the next adaptations to that, or can the teams figure out like, oh, this is what Nouns is going for, this is how we deal with it. Because sometimes that feels like where that's one of Nouns' strengths. Like, no offense to them, it doesn't feel like it's like the individual player skill that's like, oh, this guy just beats everyone, right? It's oftentimes like, oh, this is a cool draft, he's on a comfort hero, they're playing around this guy really well, right? It's like a draft into team play that feels like often when Nouns looks best, that is what is happening.
And I gotta give a lot of credit to Milan as the coach, right? Like he has come up with a lot of, really cool strategies and ideas for this team that clearly has been working. So he's putting in the work and it's paying off for the team. We'll be seeing what they come up with here as Nouns have first pick on Radiant. Tundra will have the Dire side. I am curious if they're going to let the Omni Knight through. This is something that the Nouns have been picking pretty much as their overall first pick if they get the opportunity. We're going to see the Lina, the Tinker, the Naga Siren, which, we saw Tundra grab yesterday. Curious what else they want to ban here against Tundra.
We know they like Morphling. Pure is a fantastic Morphling player. Thompson will do some weird mid Morphling. Support Morphling is on the table as well. That's a lot of flexibility to deal with. We might see it banned out, especially as now you ban out the Doom, who can potentially be a good pick versus the Morphling.
The Doom also opens up their potential for Beastmaster and Omni Knight, though. So that is one of the things that, like, when Nouns have first pick, they love the Doom ban for this particular reason. Shadow Demon removed, something we see Lelis have a lot of success on. But a lot of the same, like, it feels like Tinker Lina is in every opener. I'm curious about the Nature's Prophet, because that is another one that has been slipping through. So I think Nouns might ban it here. And then maybe they look for the Beastmaster, but their Omni Knight is gone.
Yeah, I think with Doom and Shadow Demon out, those are some of the better responses to Omni Knight. I think you had to take it out. If anything, just to push Nouns into some new territory. Don't let them play a comfort hero. Mirana's open to them. Monkey King's open to them. These have been great heroes that we've seen them play really well around. Shadow Demon's another, but, banned out.
I could see the opening.
I don't know if we've seen them play Natures as much. I remember them playing support Natures. I haven't seen them do the core Natures quite yet.
Yeah. I feel like it's got to be a Nature's Prophet ban here.
If you're not going to take it, I think you should probably think about it.
Okay, they are going to go for it.
They do take it. And Bat Rider as a ban makes a lot of sense. He's one of the better supports or cores, actually. Bat Rider can go to them both. He's very good versus Natures because you can just find him in the trees. He's like, oh, sprout him off. Doesn't care, just fireflies out of there. Natures could be a core nowadays. So he's moved out of just being a support, but he is often in both. Right now, I'd say core is a little bit more popular. You need someone who does not care about the tramp. That's your ideal counter pick. If you can handle it, such as Crystal Maiden, Doom was another one who just eats it, right? Some kind of ability that removes that tramp, that'll help you a lot, because that tramp is so hard to kill without an ability. He's got that reinforced armor, it has so much health. Maybe it's not killing you right away, but it's poking you. It's like poke, and you just can't deal with it. And it'll block your camps, it'll do weird creep aggro, it makes your life miserable.
The Wind Ranger pick is phenomenal against the Nature's Prophet. You can kind of put it in whatever lane you want. Like if the Nature's Prophet was going to go mid, you can put Wind Ranger mid. She doesn't really struggle into that matchup at all. She's got Focus Fire in the later game to secure the kills onto the Nature's Prophet. Your like Sprout TP is not guaranteed because obviously you just power shot through it and then go for the Shackle. Like there's a lot of things that makes Wind Ranger a great hero against the Natures. So we'll see how that ends up playing out. But yeah, overall, I think really good first pick from both teams.
You want one of those cool Wind Ranger skins, of which there's an endless amount. She's one of those popular heroes. Make sure you are signing up for the giveaway, guys. There's more details if you type !1x give. Get the cool skins. Everyone knows you're a better player if you've got cool DOTA hats.
It's a direct correlation to MMR, actually.
Direct, actually, yeah.
That's why I haven't been getting MMR. I stopped buying DOTA hats, and they're like, we're going to put you in griefed lobbies, right? I think that's how it works.
Why do you think the pros always get the cosmically rare stuff, the ultra rare sets, right? Like, they know. You got to have it if you want to be a top-level player.
Sand King pick after the Beastmaster ban. We get the Morphling and a Primal Beast removed. Both really strong against the Nature's Prophet as well, right? These are just heroes that can easily close the gap onto him and take him down. Pure's Morphling is ridiculously good as well, so just kind of a respect ban. I think the Sand King here is pretty solid. If you put it mid, you could just put the Nature's Prophet mid, and then it's a little bit of an easy matchup for the Natures, but good Blink Initiator. gives you some options as well if you want to go back for like a Grimstroke to follow up the initiation. They've got a lot that they can work with.
Yeah, I think that if you do want to just run Sand King versus the Natures, it'll be okay. Like, you'll both farm.
Yeah.
Natures will probably poke you a little bit more than the other way.
Crystal Maiden.
They're going to grab the Crystal Maiden for themselves, which is just a solid support, but it's also a good support against the Natures.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's protecting your Natures. At the same time, Frostbite is really good versus the Wind Run, but it's also a disarm, so you're not being destroyed by Focus Fire while you're in that area. It's good versus the Sand King to prevent him from burrow striking away. So just some nice value from that Crystal Maiden.
I really thought they were going to pick it themselves on Tundra, right? It's one of those things where the Nature's Prophet a lot of times gets played by Lelis on Nouns, which is the forward position, so he'd be in the off lane. I was like, okay, well, you could respond with the Crystal Maiden, get the counter to the NP lane, and then maybe force it elsewhere. Maybe he just keeps it there anyway. It's hard to say, but they will go back for the Mirana. Okay. Now,
Not surprising.
Semi-flexible, but probably for Yuma in the carrier role, right?
It's where they like it the most, and it, again, protects the Natures because Arrow will deal with the Treant. But also, I think the best Mirana games, when you want to run her as a core, there's like two things. One, you want Arrow setup, which in your own lane is great to have because now you have Kill Threat there, which Crystal Maiden Frostbite, perfect. Then you want your Solar Flare to matter to the other cores. Currently, you have Nature's Prophet, which could be a support or a core, but he'll be great with that Solar Flare, right? And you have two other picks to pick. Ideally, like one more hero who likes having the Solar Flare, and that is usually the best case for a Mirana.
I like the Tusk pick, though, so this is something that will be able to save people from these arrows potentially, which is really nice. Also, just good again against the Nature's Prophet if this is a core and NP. I would something that I would like as well at the Mirana is an like you said, another like blink setup, but maybe like we saw a Slardar with a Mirana earlier that looked really sick, giving her the
That was cool.
The Corrosive Haze for the amplified damage, because Mirana just does so much damage in that short duration with the leap. And we'll go for the Dark Willow.
Ooh.
All right, so kind of revealing. We kind of expected this to be a core Wind Ranger. Now it makes even more sense.
It's cool. It's got some follow-up lockdown because the leaps from Mirana are good versus like Ice Shards, like getting away from Sandstorm, all that stuff. So once some stun connects, you know, you got all these roots, chain stuns, fears, things to help lock down a mobile hero, but also a support who will go into the Shadow Realm and will not be deleted by some Solar Flare buffed up right-clicking hero. So kind of a cool idea there. I'm trying to see, what do you want to pick here going into the final banning stage? I feel like you want to keep that Nature's Flex available. So maybe another core hero here. Technically, you're not locked in on Mirana either, so you could keep that Flex available. Okay, Pango, there you go. Keeping it very open. Could be mid or off lane, which means you can shuffle all these heroes around. For support, Mirana. For support Natures, carry Natures, mid Natures, carry Mirana. I think some people have done mid Mirana. I don't know if Copy is one of those players.
It's only
Yuma's the big Mirana player for Nouns.
Yeah, it's usually OG with BZM, right? Like he's the one who really likes the mid Mirana, but you know, they're not here, so we'll have to see. I think Pango is particularly a very good hero for Nouns because you do have Gunnar, a previous mid player who has a ton of Pangolier games. And it's funny, like when we've talked to him in interviews previously,
Not happy about it.
He's like, I moved to offlane to partly avoid having to play Pangolier, and now he's just back and stronger and in the offlane. He's like, I'm sick of it. I can't escape this hero.
I can't wait for him to come back to being a support. There's a brief period of support Pango.
Yeah.
And at that time, it'll be when Gunnar shifts over to the support role.
It's just tethered to him. He'll never escape.
Can't escape.
The Mars ban, I like quite a bit. Great against these heroes. Obviously, you have to consider the Sand King flex between mid and off lane. And of course, the Wind Ranger flex between safe lane and mid lane. So we see the Sand King Wind Ranger picked together actually a decent amount for this very reason, right? You cover multiple core positions, but all three lanes are still technically pickable, depending on what you see from Nouns.
And Alk is something they like a lot. It would have been pretty good if you were laning into, say, the Sand King, and he tries to Sandstorm, you just drop your Acid Spray on top, and you're pretty tanky yourself, so you're never too worried about being burst once you get past the early levels. The Wind Ranger does have the damage, like with Focus Fire, to kill an Alchemist, but still just not wanting to deal with it. I guess he's being buffed up by Solar Flare a lot too. I'm trying to see who else is still available. Monkey King is actually still in the pool, I noticed, which Copy is an amazing Monkey King player.
Yeah, I was about to mention that. Like, you could just go Copy's Monkey King again and then run a like support Nature's Prophet with a Pango offlane, right? Like there's a lot of things that they can do with this draft.
Yeah, I think a little bit more initiation wouldn't hurt either, though, because right now there's a lot on Pango. He's gonna have to build the initiation with the roll, but also it's like, hey, we need auras. Hey, Pango, do you want to do that? He's like, okay, I got to do everything on here. So someone else to help lighten the load a little bit. I'm trying to think like a right-clicking mid who could also initiate, maybe like Storm, for example. It's not. I don't know. It would be okay. You got Crystal Maiden.
They did end up banning the Monkey King, by the way, which I think is smart.
Makes sense.
We were both kind of like,
actually,
it's good for them.
Yeah. Interestingly enough, Monkey King's actually often first phase banned versus Tundra as well. Tundra's also a really good Monkey King team. So actually a little bit surprising to see him make it all the way to the end.
Last ban from Nouns here before they go into their pick. In terms of annoying Escuro, Centaur, interesting. Okay, I was going to say maybe the Underlord, but Centaur also works quite well with what I'm guessing is a 4-position Dark Willow and what is likely to be like Whitemon playing the Tusk, right? In the 5 position if you're going to have to carry Wind Ranger.
10 seconds remaining.
That pairing would work, but I think either way could be okay, especially depending what you pick for your final pick on Tundra. These supports could go either lane. Okay, they go for the Clockwork.
Okay,
so
it's gonna
support
be the
Clockwork, carry Mirana. I assume mid natures. I guess you could actually flex that a little bit. I prefer mid natures offlane Pango, but if the matchup is really bad from whatever Tundra ends up picking here, you could move it.
They can flex it, and the benefit is if you run the offlane natures, you have a Clockwork 4, right? So because Lelis plays it typically for these guys, and I mean Gunnar, I don't know if I've really seen him play a lot of Nature's Prophet, but as someone who used to have higher farm priority, he's going to be perfectly happy having a farming hero. It's going to be the mid Kunkka, most likely. Yeah. Ooh, offlane. Okay, so Ramses is going to take it, and it will be Copy on the mid lane Prophet versus the Sand King. I feel like that's pretty okay for Copy.
I think so. I think Thompson will be able to farm all right, especially we'll see what he ends up taking for facets. But if you take Dust Devil, that'll help you farm a lot. Like, even if you are having a rough lane, you just move between camps.
Yeah.
And you farm pretty fast. But you can't really deal with this Treant, and Nature's often just, like, sticks the Treant on you and then pokes you anytime you walk up. But you also don't have the greatest wave clear on Nature's, and Sand King does. So after the first couple levels, you just nuke it out and go jungle.
Lelis currently just swapped to the hookup facet. I'm
up for it.
Very interested to see if this is what he's going to do or not.
I think it's pretty good into physical lineups, which is like a Wind Ranger and maybe like tag team going on. As long as someone else goes in first and you can keep hookshotting to them, it's actually really easy to get a lot of stuns and then give your team like a massive amount of armor. And now that you refund 75% mana, you just keep going back in.
That was the big issue. You
Yeah.
just ran out of mana. Like I accidentally selected hookup on my first game of Clockwork in like 12 years. And I used hookshot twice and I was out of mana. And I'm like, well, this sucks. So
yeah, you run out really quickly.
This is cool. I'm really interested to see how that's going to play out. And now I'm mostly wondering if they're going to like swap the lanes a little bit, put the Crystal Maiden in the off lane with the Pango and the Clockwork safe lane, even though it's like Lelis on the Clockwork. We'll have to see. They might do something like that. Or we'll just see them do the double melee off lane, the double range safe lane. I don't know. I'm excited. This is going to look like a really fun game. Overall, again, the winner of this qualifies directly to the playoffs. The loser will have a second chance against BetBoom to qualify. So this will be an exciting series nonetheless.
Oh, dude, you could hook up to the Treant. 25 armor Treant.
I think will never die. All right, here we go. Game number 1 of Nouns versus Tundra underway as we take a look at the facets. And There's some fun ones to look at here. Again, the hookup on the Clockwork, probably the big one to keep an eye out for, but we also get Whirlwind from the Wind Ranger and Grog Blossom for the Kunkka, which a lot of times we see the Tidebringer cooldown from offlane Kunkkas. The Grog Blossom is a little bit more common. It's just, it feels a little bit underwhelming at times, I think.
I guess it has more utility. I mean, you're not really playing offlane Kunkka to build a bunch of damage and cleave people, right? So any extra utility for your team, if someone gets initiated on, like you see them get hit by an arrow, you could X mark them, give them that extra buff. Gunner in a little bit of a weird spot. You're going to have to use double jump down the terrain. He should be okay from here, though he has taken a good chunk of damage.
Yeah, I feel like this lane's not going to be super easy. You're double melee into Tusk Wind Ranger, right? I feel like that's a strong lane.
Yeah, we might see a lot of like creep dragging. Fortunately for Pango, ooh, drinking buddies over to Gunner. Not going to let him enter the lane easily. Pango will have 2 mobility spells, so at least he won't get trapped off by ice shards very easily. Should be able to live through a lot of these attempts. Yeah, Lelis is already creep dragging top, so you're spot on. It is not an easy lane to play normally.
Yeah, we'll see how much CS he manages to get here. Ooh, manages to unblock the safe lane there, just barely. The arrow almost connected on the 9 class.
You just gotta hang on in this top lane for a while, because you will have this global rotation from the natures, right, after a few levels. So you just have to do what you can, and eventually you'll get some help from the mid, and maybe you can get a kill or something to get back into it.
Yeah, I think you're right. Mid lane is probably just going to be a farm fest for both of them. Like, I can't imagine it's that difficult for the Sand King because he has such good wave clear. But Nature's Prophet should also not really be threatened too much by the Sand King.
They're expecting a lot of pressure in the mid lane too. Tundra committed both wards to the mid lane on either side, so you can see Clockwork or Crystal Maiden coming in.
I kind of like that, yeah.
Maybe even an arrow, I suppose. It's so weird to see the cogs in that format now. Everyone took expanded armature for so long. It's funny to remember this is the regular cogs format.
Right? It's like we've been trained now to believe that like the cogs are supposed to be these massive AoEs.
Yeah. Oh, with this build, you're more likely to just max out battery assault like you used to. Leave power cogs at maybe 1 point. We'll see what he does. But expanded armature, you would actually see people sometimes max out because it was just so good. Nice snipe on the Wind Ranger.
That was really nice. Yeah, the thing is like being able to hit the cogs at people is so much more difficult with this facet, and it's like one of the reasons we don't see it all that often. The leap in, the Starstorm, is it enough to finish off 9 class? Yuma gets him very low. Can the Crystal Maiden snipe him? Crystal Nova's up, he's in range, and that's gonna be it. Absolute max range. First blood for Fly is gonna be great for him.
Yuma took a lot of damage there. He actually jumped through 2 brambles, which is a little scary for a moment there. I think he was worried about jumping further in case the Kunkka came in, but didn't matter in the end with Fly being able to grab that kill.
Kunkka's just doing great in this bottom lane despite anything, right? Like he's 16 last hits, 4 denies. He's got no problem at all.
Kunkka's got good stats and solid animation. Mirana with Solar Flare gets really scary, but her starting stats are actually not that impressive.
Thompson's just stacking his hard camps over and over. Well, that's a lot of damage. You need to be very careful on the Mirana here. Top lane Lelis getting a little bit aggressive here onto Whitemon, maybe to Pure as well. Will force out the Wind Run. The Cogs are there to hold him in place. Gunner comes in. Does he have a shield crash? Not quite yet. He gets it now, and that will be a nice win as Lelis trying to walk away with his boots windlace. He's doing his best. He's going to make it, man. That's a long cooldown shards.
Boots windlace. He's fast enough. Tusk maybe could have chased for the kill, but there's a lot of creeps pushing in. He doesn't want to miss this.
Yeah, also probably just doesn't want them to hit the tower. All right, well, that's a nice fine top side here for the side of Nouns. Copy still looking really good in the mid lane. Thompson has his big recovery step. That sprout damage is always really surprising. Gunner now.
Used to it being a nuke.
Yeah, right? That's what we've been seeing most mid laners do, right? Just max sprout, 1 point, and oh, Lelis is about to scout the stack. Oh boy. All right, they need to bring some heroes to do that.
Yeah, or as long as you keep your eye on it. Like, I think Lelis is gonna sit here until Thompson goes. Like, he's actually going right now. This is perfect. And then they'll rotate Nature's in. Oh, he's not in the cogs.
Ooh, the blood grenades got him? Dude, he actually dies there if he hits him in the cogs. That is one of those things, like the expanded armature is so much better for scenarios like that of securing kills, but
yeah. I also think that Nature's ult did not bounce enough before it hit the Sand King.
He just gets the whole stack now anyway. I mean, that's massive for Thompson.
Yeah, that's keeping him in this, despite the denies from Copy. Net worth-wise, he's now very close.
Is here Invis, which they don't really know about. And because of that, he actually might be able to set up a kill on the
He's gonna die to Dust Devil if he follows too long.
It's like, wait a minute.
You're casually losing half your health, and the enemy mid doesn't even know.
He just walks all the way down there and takes your bottled bounty rune. I mean, there's a lot of attention into the mid lane. 6 heroes currently here.
Lelis is thinking about some courier snipes. Oh, it's actually going to get 2. It's a teleport on the Tusk. Going to hurt his ability to rotate around.
They're going to get the D ward for sure. Yep, Whitemon grabs it.
But
the second courier. 9 class
right.
is like, sorry guys, I'm looking for the wisdom rune. I'm not paying attention.
I think that actually ends up being worth it. That's... for the whole team, 2 couriers for an observer ward, and he actually just puts another one in the mid lane anyways. And they'll never expect me to simply do it again.
Gunner's actually going for an early blade mail here, so that is not super common, but when you're against a Wind Ranger, it makes sense. Like, he clearly wants to stay in this lane for a while. Oh yeah, you got the damage this time.
That hits.
Yeah, and top
actually
lane.
So hard in the top lane, they just go for a kill right off of that.
That is super cool. Really good usage of the Nature's ult.
That's the buff to Nature's, which is why we're seeing it as a core a lot more often. It now hits everything in vision. It doesn't keep buffing up in damage. It still has a limit there, but it will just continue to hit at max damage on every single remaining target.
Yeah, that's massive. I mean, he gets a part of 2 kills, so he gets 1 kill, then he gets the assist gold on the other. Like, that is so much gold for the Nature's Prophet. So he has about 1,000 advantage already. Lelis. Just gonna walk away from the Sand King here with his tranquil boots. He'll be fine. They are hunting for Yuma in this bottom lane. Lelis is somewhat close, so will force 9 class back. Takes a bramble here.
Yuma's walked back into an observer. Yep.
Oh, they know.
Casually burns 150 mana.
Sorry, he's got the mana boots.
He misclicked on the observer and twin gated twice by accident. Oh, they get the X before the leap comes out.
That's gonna be the torrent. The boat. He gets the leap though, just in time. Lelis on the backside, getting some assist from an arrow is just might be enough to bring down that Dark Willow. As Yuma's really trying to juke this through the trees, gets a Starstorm off. Fly comes in. The body blocks the tag team, but the drink.
Buddies.
That's a big damage nuke from this Nature's Prophet. Can they find Ramses as this rum buff expires? Rolling Thunder gets committed. The phase boots coming through as well. The flare is going to be enough to slow him, I think. Okay, a copy just snipes him, of course. Double kill for the NP. Meanwhile, Thompson just takes your entire stack.
Just use your Nature's teleport, so Thompson knows not a lot of help coming in right away.
I think he's dead.
Actually, they just walked over.
Well, Nature's TP'd back to the mid tower, it looked like.
Oh, yeah, the regular teleports in.
Yeah. All right. Well, I mean, decent economic damage taking the Ancient stack, but the kill still nets copy a decent amount, and he is almost 6,000 net worth here at the 10-minute mark.
Dire's middle tower is under
He's doing very good. Quick reminder, everyone, you can sign up on 1xBet's website using the promo code UNIVERSE, UNVRS3. Get yourself a little bit of a welcome deposit bonus. 9 class coming in, does manage to find a kill on the Clockwork. Compy sidesteps, though. That terrorize, and it's just going to be a 1-for-1 trade. Yuma will be the one that actually picks up the kill, which is a nice little influx of gold for him, because he's kind of struggling on his carry Mirana. Luckily, there is another carry in this Nature's Prophet right now.
Yeah, I think you're not too worried. I feel like the trend in Miranas that we've seen is that the early lane is just not that great, but if you drag it into the mid to late game, Solar Flare starts being ridiculous. The cooldown is low, the extra damage and attack speed is insane. His roll-in time canceled by X. They didn't commit the boat, though, which maybe would have pushed it close to enough damage, but instead he's just going to walk away. Hurricane back into the Burrow Strike? I don't think there's enough damage here anyways.
Well, Thompson, it's like, here's the downside with the Dust Devil is, like, Clockwork and Sprout make it really difficult. Topside, Pure gets dunked on as Gunner. Perfectly placed double jump. That's a lot more difficult to do with the smaller cogs, you know.
That's true. You're a little less worried about, like, bumping them out, though, or, like, accidentally rolling out.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Pros and cons, I suppose. That rotation will net them the first tower of the game, though Tundra looks to be in position to just mash that a little bit later here.
Yeah, they've already got the pressure on bottom. Shouldn't be an issue for them. Compy just gonna deny the haste rune. All right, cheeky stuff there. Saw that it wasn't top with his treant.
It's gonna be such a fast Gleipnir.
Yeah,
Nature's
it
is 500 away. And you have good supports to set this up.
Like, you have a Frostbite too.
Yeah, Frostbite's enough time. Hookshot into Cogs is enough time.
He's trying his best, you know. Blade Mail comes out, Gunner's like, I'll return some damage.
You're getting a little close there. Maybe that's where he wishes he had the expanded armature to walk away from that.
Yeah, the throwing Shade Facet is a lot of damage amp, right? 30% damage amp on the Bedlam is crazy at this point, so...
So far, we haven't seen Hookup yet, though. I'm still waiting.
It's just
for
regular
it.
hookshot.
Yeah, he keeps going in on his own, which is kind of what you need to do in the early game. I do think the hookup in the mid to late game makes more sense, where your cores are now farmed enough to go in first. But it is funny when you take this fast and you're like, wait a minute, I keep initiating for my team. I'm never using Hookup.
Man, they are so afraid to walk onto the high ground there, and rightfully so.
Oh, this courier, no. Rest in peace, courier.
Pure topside knows there's too much scary stuff afoot, so he just retreats into the jungle. Copy through the ultimate, thinking like maybe it'll lead to a kill there, right? If it happens to hit them, but either way, it's just another farming ult. Going to the mid lane, maybe. Hookshot in. Thompson with the jump down. Good little burrow strike. They get themselves a D ward as Copy is just going to continue farming. Why not? Fire Rune here in a couple of seconds. Who wins the 50-50? It's an amplified damage top. Fly just he denied it instead of picking it up right next to it. That had to be a misclick, right? Surely.
Yeah, you don't know who's in the area, right? Maybe suddenly someone blinks in and grabs it. gets you killed. So, you know, maybe it's just a safe play. He knows he's not going to do that much with it.
Yeah, I guess.
I better not be tempted to just run in an ult with this amplified damage. I better deny it.
Smoked up. Want to put this to good use here. We'll see what they can find. I mean, Kunga also has his blade mail, and he's going to smoke. Question is, who do they find? Thompson would be the perfect kill. Gleipnir is out into the arrow. And with the solar flare, it's so much damage. You can turn this into the tier 1 mid.
To get the tier 1.
Yeah.
Just 80 extra damage there.
Fly scouting here. Bottom. It's a little spooky. There's some heroes here from Tundra. As it switches to nighttime, he's just going to walk it. Oh! Okay, yeah, no, he's dead.
Hook up!
Hook up, though! The barrier, the armor, rather. A lot, and in comes Gunnar. So much damage from the Rolling Thunder, as well as the Nature's Prophet just cleans them up.
I was like all magic damage, and now
yeah, I was like the hook up armor pawn. I was like, I thought it was a barrier. I don't know.
Yeah, that's where the old barrier was a little better. I'm not fully sure why they decided to change that, but
it's because it benefits him, right? Doesn't he get like more out of armor himself?
Yeah, it's just weird though. It limits it to like the physical damage, but it'll still be nice, right? He's getting a Pavise actually into a Solar Crest, so with the bonus armor plus that barrier, you're making it insanely strong, which will be cool to see later. And in this case, it didn't matter because they got the kill and it was done. But oftentimes, you don't need to keep hooking up to your teammates. Like, you hook up once to save, and then you're winning the fight, and then they're trying to run away, and you actually have hook up again to then follow up and get someone retreating for a follow-up kill. Didn't matter in this case, but it's something we might see later on in the game because the cooldown is just so low with this facet.
Yeah. For people wondering, it is a 75% reduction in, so it's quite big. Epicenter out from Thompson to the top side. Hook shot will connect onto Pure. The Terrorize comes through as well, but there's the Nature's Prophet. He's on top of Thompson. Gunnar with the pipe absorbing so much of this as he swashbuckles onto the other side as the Wrath of Nature trying to find more. And they've got their eyes set on Ramses. The Rolling Thunder coming through. A big ultimate from Fly on the bottom side, trying to finish off 9 class, and he gets them. And Gunnar's going to connect onto the stun. Lelis able to close the gap as well. He's going to drop the boat and the blade mail, but he is all alone. He's going to be able to tank up a lot of damage here, but is it going to be enough? We'll see. Lelis caught for the Walrus Punch. A nice snowball. At some point, this rum buff's going to expire. He's down to 0 HP, and Whitemon now in trouble as well. Copy with a 200 range TP just in case. They get themselves a big series of kills. That's all 5, I'm pretty sure.
Over time, I think so. Maybe not the Wind Ranger, actually. She may not have been there. But I like that. If you thought he wasn't trapped enough in the power cog, sprout him too. Just make sure he cannot leave. Really nice play from Nouns, putting to great use the mobility of their team from the teleportation from the Natures, the rolling and the mobility from Pango, Hookshot, right? They're just taking a series of different fights all across the map. Well, I mean, not all across, but it's like, it's very spread out, and they're able to bring the numbers faster than Tundra can.
Yeah. And that is a quick BKB on Copy. He's going to go the Curse of the Old Growth Shard here in a little bit, which is incredibly strong. Great H, just A, for scouting people, right? But B, it is a ton of damage inside the Sprout or just near a single Ironwood Treant, so.
Yeah, now that the Treant also gets the multiplier, it does a very big chunk of damage.
Whirlwind bottom! Can Lelis get out? No.
No one to hook up to, alas. Maybe that Treant. Maybe we could get some bonus armor there.
Really nice find. I mean, Lelis is a farmed hero. Like, that's not a bad kill by any means.
Yeah, he's doing great. So, Whirlwind now as well, it's often used for farming. So, I mean, if you can get a kill out of it and then, like, run to a camp or something.
Oh, this is a great rotation top. They're calling the Roche play, and now Gunnar in some trouble. Pops the pipe, but can he survive? And oh, the shield crash! At the last second, the Rolling Thunder comes out as well. He's going to be able to get away and fly with a huge freezing field. They follow it up. The hook shot is there. Whitemon is dead as well. No way he gets out of this, and Copy's not done. The rum buff is going to expire, and now Ramses is in trouble. 2 Gleipnirs back out, and oh my goodness. It looked so good from Tundra to start this fight, but you can't escape now. Gunnar gets his revenge.
And this is why auras are so good. He had the blade mail armor. You've got the pipe, barrier, and magic resistance. He just finished a Vanguard. He's got a casual bracer and a wand. So he just had so many items to help him out. He gets the double jump barrier, which is then boosted by the armor he owns. So just everything to keep him alive. And then he gets the roll off for the extra magic resist. That's insane. This hero is at 1,800 health with just so much extra from all of his items.
That was a very sick play from Nouns. If you guys want to make sick plays like Gunnar, you can go ahead and follow the channels. You know, we've got FISSURE here who has put together this amazing tournament. So show them some love. We appreciate having them here.
You don't want to miss awesome plays like that. You don't want to miss Nouns possibly winning game 1 in what many would consider the start of an upset if they win.
Hookshot off the mark, but they do manage to get the Gleipnir and the Sprout, the Rolling Thunder on the backside. They're doing some work, and Copy with the BKB just standing his ground here. Thompson does pop the Blade Mail, but now he's all alone. They just walked away, and an arrow comes through. A great save from Whitemon, but is it going to be enough? Thompson trying his best to heal through it, but he cannot. 2 dead as Nouns still plenty healthy with all 5 of their heroes, and Copy's not done. Curse the Old Growth onto Whitemon. Gleipnir out as well. The 21-minute Wisdom Rune is there. Ramses grabs it and runs away.
You're going to lose your Tormentor, though.
Yeah. A 14,000 gold advantage for Nouns. Make it 15 as they take the Tormentor, and the Shard goes to Lelis. That's such a good one, too.
Yeah, you kind of need this one now. Expanded Armature, the new one that everyone started taking, you could just walk out after using it and leave whoever was in there kind of stuck. But now it's back to the old cogs, which traps you in, so Jetpack helps you out. Time to use Hookup again.
All right. Scan comes out. Tundra knows, but there is no way you make it. Aegis for Yuma, who doesn't have his BKB quite yet, so that does make sense. And Compy is just going straight for the MKB.
Why not? You've got the Solar Flare, extra attack speed, extra damage that you're never missing on this Wind Ranger.
Lelis versus Whitemon. Only 2 may enter, only 1 may leave.
The third one's entering. That's not fair.
He's breaking the rules. Whitemon trying to get away here, a valiant effort, but there's a Gleipnir coming through finally, and it's just going to be Yuma to clean it up.
Gets a D-ward on this cliff as well. Does he have Hookshot again? Not quite yet, but he does have Copy coming in. Cog? Can he get a Cog?
He actually... The Gleipnir?
Okay,
no way. Just at the last moment.
It's hard to get the angle on Cog kicks because of, like, without the expanded armature, you can't really position around it. It just has to be one of the natural cardinal directions for it to work out.
Tier 2 mid now gonna fall. I mean, that's 2 full lanes of barracks available for Nouns if they want to push the high ground, and
Solar Flare's back up. So
and you got Natures, you know, why not? There comes the big old treant, dude. This thing does so much damage.
Free catapult.
Yeah, unless it just gets hit by the tower. But still, I mean, it's such an easy commitment. Half the tower.
Yeah. And you still have 3.5 minutes on Aegis, so you weren't even worried about taking high ground quite yet. BKB is almost done on Mirana, and I think once you have that, that's when you start looking to push. I see Yules is actually also almost done on Clockwork. So we have a lot of items coming up here. The MKB for the Natures, the Gunner. The Greaves is actually a little bit far off, so maybe you're not waiting for that one.
Pure,
but you got a lot of big
BKB,
items
though,
lining up. Who did?
Pure. So your Wind Ranger has the BKB Gleipnir, so there is potential if there is like a big grouped up fight. We haven't really seen it yet, but I mean, we have seen grouped up fights, but not with the Wind Ranger there, right? Like Nouns actually has a team that wants to kind of just jump on top of a hero and bring them down, and that's kind of what Wind Ranger wants when you go this Whirlwind.
Yeah,
So I'm curious.
you need to
if it's
find
gonna work.
something soon because, I mean, it's an 18K lead for Nouns. So you're very quickly falling behind.
Lelis gonna
Lelis
jetpack, break the smoke, finds Whitemon, traps him in the cogs. Snowball's gonna come through, but Lelis, he's really just biding his time till the team shows up, and there's gonna be a frostbite. Arrow, it hits a creep, but Pure so close to dying, forced to BKB. Terrorize will find the Nature's Prophet. He's a big kill. Copy in no man's land, and that will be very worth the rotation. But here comes Yuma, gets a quick pick now, forces his own BKB, looking for Thompson. He's gonna respond with his own in kind. I don't think you have any leaps yet, but there's the hook shot, and Gunner's got the Rolling Thunder still going. Leap from Yuma to chase Thompson out of the Sand King. He's got him. Gunner now chasing Ramses, trying to body block him off. There's going to be a Gleipnir. Tidal Wave will pull him close to the base, but a big freezing field, and now Gunner looks instead for Pure. He can't, dude, he's got everything up. He's still got
arrow.
He's got Blade Mail. He's got everything available on this Pangolier. You can't kill this guy.
Yuma had no mana or charges to contribute for a little bit there, but in the end it didn't matter. They could not get out of that choke point versus a Clockwork and a Crystal Maiden. And with that, you'll take a tier 2 on the side of Nouns. Minute on Aegis still. Do you poke high ground?
Dude, that was a
solar flare.
That was a 4-for-1 and an almost even trade.
Yeah.
That is how much Coffee's Nature's Prophet is worth. Whitemon top lane. About to get scouted from Lelis. The Wrath of Nature comes through, hits everybody, and Coffee's looking for Pure. Once again, he knows the BKB's on cooldown for at least a couple of seconds. He's gonna get out. Arrow, it connects, hits the Tusk. Yuma will be able to finish him off. Now looking for Thompson. He does have this Aegis for 30 more seconds. He doesn't mind if he's the one that falls here. The Pipe still keeping him alive. Tries to get him down with the Stinger. Burrow Strike up onto the high ground. 30 seconds. Can they lose the Aegis? They will.
Stop saving me, Gunner. I'm trying to die here.
I'm trying to spend the Aegis.
All right, there you go. First Aegis, I'd say that was pretty successful. There's one tier 2 left. You can clean that up pretty much anytime you want. If you get a good pickoff with any of the deep wards you have, you could probably just go straight high ground. But if you just end up waiting for that second Roche, there's not great heroes for killing the banner.
Oh, hook shot out. Lelis has got him. He's going to try and TP. I think, yeah, Gleipnir can secure it. And that's the last tier 2. I mean, they're not... Are they actually going to... There's no reason to wait, right? 23,000 gold advantage with the Nature's Prophet. Just go to the high ground. This tier 3 is going to go down very quick. The buyback comes out immediately. And just like that, another huge chunk of damage in the tower. It's a hard commitment,
yeah.
You know?
Okay. They're going to back off.
They forced everyone back and, again, almost kill a tier 3 tower.
All right, you're still holding on to your towers for now.
Ooh, Lelis. I mean, Whirlwind ain't it for the solo pickoff, and he's got a Yules. Buy himself a little bit of space. I hear the Rolling Thunder. He's coming in. Gets saved by the Guardian Greaves, the Crimson Guard as well. In comes Yuma. Thompson just gets deleted. Whitemon's going to be next. And Ramses, he's not even going to be able to finish off Lelis. 9 Class is trying his best, but Coffee's deep in the base. He's found Pure, forced to just power shot himself out of this Sprout, but it's going to cost you 4 heroes in your own base. That might just be game.
I think if you wanted to call it, you could. If you want to keep playing it out, I don't think they'll end here before you're up. I think you can probably take two lanes, maybe 3, and you have to come back from there, but you're going to be like 40k behind it. Oh, especially as Wind Ranger.
They don't want to die. They don't want to die. They're afraid of buybacks.
They're like, whoa, guys, don't get too excited. Just take the racks.
And I mean, it stalls him from getting into the fight here, right? And Lelis is in a really good spot to go for the hookup or the hook shot, right? Like, whichever one he wants to do. They know Pure's around. That is another lane of barracks down. I think at this point they're realizing there are no buybacks. Else they would have used them. Final fortification comes through to save the at least mega creeps.
This tower's almost dead. It'll be ratted at some point by a Treant. Look, he's sending it in. He's going to send a Treant to take this tier 3.
Yep, gets
it. God, one hit.
98% win probability. It really does seem like that, right? That is almost a satanic. Actually, I think he has satanic on copy now. So you're not killing this Nature's Prophet.
It's like a couple hundred off if he sells something. Okay, there you go. Yeah, he's got it.
Hook shot in. Lelis once again finds Whitemon here. Compy on the backside finds Pure. Good luck, dude. The Marana Nature's Prophet, an immediate GG. There is no chance you're staying in this game. Nouns get themselves the game 1 victory here over Tundra.
That was a really nice draft, really good execution. Copies Nature's Prophet just absolutely popped off. And this is kind of what we were saying at the start. Nouns usually, they come up with a very clean draft idea, and you could see it. Copy is going to have a good time in the mid lane. We're going to enable him. We're going to have multiple heroes who can set him up to rotate into. The Clockwork, the Crystal Maiden Frostbite, Roll, land a Lucky Arrow, right? Everyone can set up Copy, and therefore Copy can enable everyone else. Absolutely what you want out of your first pick. You've got to ban the Natures, or you're taking it for yourself on Tundra into game 2. You do not want to play into that a second time.
I mean, Tundra will probably opt for first pick next game to try to change things up, because if you're not giving them the Natures, then you're giving them the Omni, which is also kind of scary. So it's a scary team for Nouns to have the first pick threat on. I just want to point out here, Nouns only have 6 deaths in this whole game. The final score is 41-6. Like, Gunner is deathless at 9-0-17. Copy is 13-1-16, and Yuma is 12-1-21. Like, these guys were in so many kills. Like, the whole team, there's a massive amount of kills and assists on every single hero. It's a really slick performance, and just borderline textbook. I don't even know what Tundra could have done to respond to this.
It felt like Sand King was doing okay. He was getting the farm.
Yeah.
But I think it's tough to actually connect on a kill. He went Bloodstone first. He may have needed to get the Blink first to enable the rest of his team. Maybe off of that, you could start making plays. I feel like Wind Ranger needed to have a much better game for this draft to come together, because then you have like the synergy with the Drinking Buddies and all of that. But Drinking Buddies is not that great with Kunkka and Sand King. So once Wind Ranger was having a little bit of rough time, spending a lot of time farming, there was some, lack of synergy there, and it felt like Nouns. I mean, you clearly see the synergy there. They were just showing up everywhere. Like, yeah, just 3 people to gank 1 guy. We just constantly do it every 20 seconds. So it worked out really well for them, and Tundra just never felt like they quite had the tools to deal with it.
I'd like to point out that Lelis is involved in 38 of 41 kills.
This is very impressive.
Like, to have 36 assists in any game of Dota, no matter how long it is absolutely wild. But this was a 29-minute game, and he's involved in 38 kills. Like, that is ridiculous. His Clockwork absolutely owned this game. He was all over the map. And I feel like a lot of it came down to like that original, like that 6-hero rotation in the mid lane. They just kept putting so much pressure on the Sand King, contesting his stack. Like, yeah, they ended up dying, on a hero trying to get the stack, but it still just slowed down Thompson so much.
Yeah, I'm looking at their draft. I think there needs to be a blink from someone. Either a blink on Sand King or...
I mean, it has to be Sand King.
Yeah, I don't think Orchid on Tusk or Kunkka is any good nowadays. But you needed a better way to start fights. Too often, it was just taking too long to actually start the initiation. So, like, even a second or two difference matters when Nouns can globally rotate in with the Natures here, right? Or, like, because you can't kill Pango fast enough, he's like, oh, let me just go through all my auras and then roll away. Right? So you just needed something to start it a little faster before the Natures can be rotating in, before he can press his instant auras, right? And then maybe the kills are a little easier, and maybe have a way to like win fights and come back into it. But yeah, it just didn't pan out this game.
Yeah, very slick performance from Nouns. They are 1 game or 1 win away from qualifying to the playoffs. But before we go to a break, everyone, just a quick reminder, there is a giveaway going on right now. You can join by typing !1xgive in chat to find the details out there. But for now, we're going to go to a short break, and we'll be back with game number 2 of Nouns versus Tundra. We'll see you in a bit.
everyone should know about the esports in your pocket.
Welcome back, everybody, here to the FISSURE Universe Episode 3. We've got game number 2 of Tundra versus Nouns about to begin, and a very exciting but really solid performance from Nouns in game number 1.
Yeah, I think that was one of their stronger performances we've seen from them. I will say on the flip side, we didn't really feel much at a Tundra. I know they're a much better team than this, so I don't know what happened in game 1. I don't know if the draft was weird. They didn't warm up enough. I don't know what happened, but I wouldn't expect the rest of the series to go like that. I do think Tundra can bounce back, starting probably with that draft. I think Nouns just had such a cohesive draft that all came together. Maybe start by, banning out Natures if you don't want to deal with it, or come up with some clearer response to the global rotations that Copy was excellent at. Very little downtime, right? Either farming or fighting, just every fight, it felt like he was there impacting ultimate, if not there himself with the teleport.
Yeah, absolutely. I love seeing that type of draft from Nouns in general. They just play super active around the map, and it's just hyper aggression, right? Anywhere they see a potential kill opportunity, they're already making the play for it, and they're not stopping their game to farm. But yeah, it's good stuff from them overall.
Yeah, for Tundra, I don't know. Pure is a great carry player, right? I feel like you have to enable him to succeed, and he didn't have a great lane. They weren't able to make space for him. I think that could be one way that you look towards this next game. It's something they've often done, right? Just give Pure a really good hero, set him up with a strong support, get him a good start, make space for him. He carries you, right? But Tusk, Dark Willow, I was blanking for a second there. They're not the strongest laners. I mean, Tusk can be, but it can also be very hit or miss. Which actually, I thought that would go better, the Pango and the Clockwork versus that lane. I thought that would go better, so maybe that lane was set up for success, and they just misplayed a little bit. Maybe Nouns outplayed them. Something happened there. But either way, that's one place you can look to adjust for game 2.
Yeah, I agree. Sorry, I'm pinging a bunch of people to try and get this game going.
Caster's holding it up. I see.
Yeah, there's we're waiting on someone in the lobby right now. But once we get that going, we should have game 2 underway. The players are actually getting a little bit impatient, so we'll have to see. Yeah, I will imagine with, let me see who has I don't know if we can see who has first pick or anything like that yet, but we're trying to find out. Hopefully our production is available. I'm not sure, but I
think I saw Tundra take first pick. So
did they? Okay.
Perhaps they'll steal the Nature's Prophet, which I'm sure they can play as well. But yeah, I think that Nature's just did way too much work. I'm not really sure what the Kunkka. I really thought it was going to be Kunkka mid and Sand King off lane, so that also threw me through a loop. I thought, I don't know. I thought maybe if you swap those, that might go better. But I guess Sand King did okay versus Nature's as well. So, maybe that wasn't the problem. But Kunkka then didn't feel like he connected on much. So I don't know. I don't know if you swap things around, if the lane goes a little better, if the game goes a little better. But just they didn't have the tools. I don't know. I felt like that they would have the tools, but it didn't come together. You didn't meet any of the aggression from Nouns, and that was the weird part.
All right, looks like we finally got it underway. I don't know what was going on there, but a little bit of a mistake from somebody, but we're good. We're ready to go into game number 2. Apologies for my not paying too much attention. I
ignore you in the cast anyway.
Pinging literally everyone I could find to try and get this game started. So we're good. But yes, back on to what I literally have no idea what we were talking about.
what Tundra can do for game 2.
Oh,
Which they're
okay.
ready to go, so they've discussed it. They have a plan. They're excited to put it into action. Like, quick, don't let Nouns come up with a new plan. We gotta go.
Yeah, I think Tundra a little bit kind of antsy right now after game 1. Like, nothing really kind of went their way.
I
The
mean,
drafts.
here's
Go ahead.
my prediction on the player mindset, right? You ever play a Dota game and you're like, oh, I'm so excited to play Dota, and you just mess up and the whole game gets a disaster, and you're like pausing after, like, I can be so much better than that. Like, I just messed up. Like, I'm so excited to win my MMR back. You know, like, I feel like that's where Tundra's at. It just did not come together in that game, but they're not down. They're like, dude, let's just fix that. Let's just go play better. Let's get into game 2. Let's win, right? So I bet that's where they're ready to get going. We'll see if Nature's gets banned out. Or actually, they swapped first pick, right? So yeah, it looks like Nouns is going to adjust. They're like, hey, no way we're giving them Nature's Prophet. We just destroyed them with it. I don't want to be destroyed by Nature's Prophet. That's crazy talk.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. I think going into this game, we're gonna see kind of the similar bans. Of course, the Beastmaster and the Shadow Demon, something that Nouns love to play. They're forced to ban the Lina and the Nature's Prophet on Nouns. We might see the Tinker ban here. We'll have to see if the Omni Knight slips through. Nope, they're gonna ban the Omni Knight, and I'd imagine the Tinker as well. It's either the Tinker or the Naga Siren, right? I feel like they play both these heroes, and so you're kind of like picking and choosing which one you want to deal with. I think Tinker is more broken. Yeah, okay, they banned the Tinker.
I think so too. It's just harder to deal with in the same way we just talked about Nature's showing up everywhere, helping you win the fight, but also farming efficiently. Like, Tinker's the same. He has a little bit more restriction in terms of like where he can show up, at least in the early game, but it's a very similar concept, which is that if you know your team wants to push bottom, which in a pro team, you're going to discuss this, so they'll know, right? They'll be like, okay, Tinker, go farm the Ancients. We're not going to be there. Now show up bottom. We're going to push, right? And it's just very difficult to deal with that if you don't also have global heroes, which Nature's is banned. So if you're not going to have your own global hero, it's easiest to just also ban it out.
All right, well, we'll see. I think the opening pick here will tell us a little bit about like what Tundra's plan is going to be for this game 2. Like, kind of like if they're going to do something a little bit more unique, which is their style, or if we're going to go kind of more into kind of the meta of what we've been seeing. As we see that, though, just a quick reminder: you guys can register to download, the app from 1xBet. This has all the odds and in-depth match information. So there is a banner below the screen that you can select to try and see what that's going to be. And it is going to be the Naga Siren, actually, as their opener.
Which makes sense. It's rare to see Sand King banned out in the first phase nowadays after he got nerfed, but actually that potentially means they're thinking about that core Naga, which is part of the reason you can pick it so early, is that Pure is a great Naga player, but if they have to run on support, they've done it before. Whitemon or 9 class could pick this up. And Sand King will be one of the better offlaners at dealing with all those illusions.
Mm-hmm. Well,
so what's your response?
I mean, could it just be the Primal Beast? It's been banned a lot.
I mean, it's pretty
great
good
against Naga. If you want to run it as a carry, yeah.
I could see it.
Maybe not, actually, with the other facet. Like, you do slow them quite a bit, and it sets the movement speed, so it would reduce trample damage quite a bit, but you at least have Onslaught to kind of offset it.
Yeah, this is the cool thing about facets. This is what I was hoping we'd get to. Primal Beast versus carry Naga with Riptide is actually a very good matchup, but
there's the Marana.
Core Primal Beast into support Naga with Deluge is not in my... I can't see, I've seen it a bunch, but like in theory, I can't see that being a good matchup, because now you're like, wait, I have to deal with Song, a slow, and a root, and that's not even the core. Like, I'm not even like locking down a core. It's a support Naga ruining my game. Like, that's weird, right? So that's a cool element of the facet that you now have to think about how, like is it a carry Naga yet, or do I still need to keep my primal pick until later, where I feel more confident that it's not going to be a support Naga that it's going to ruin my game?
I think the Marana here is just one of these heroes that Nouns are going to keep falling back on, as hey, you know, if it's a good carry Marana game, we'll run it. If it's not, it's going into the hands of Lelis, and he'll do what he can with it, you know. And
10 seconds remaining.
I am curious to see how they kind of work with this draft already to see where it's going to go. But they get rid of the Pangolier. They saw what Gunnar was able to accomplish with it last game. A very solid flex pick for this team overall.
Also good versus Illusion Heroes if they run Carry Naga. I think Clockwork is less of a desirable pick this time. Something Lelis did an amazing job on, but Naga Illusions, support or core, makes Hookshot really difficult, makes Battery Assault really difficult. They can eat the cog can only hit one hero, so if you hit an Illusion, you know, that's no good for you. So probably see a different hero for Lelis. I think who else is popular right now. Jakiro's still in the pool. He's pretty good. Strong support who could just set up arrows through slows and eventually an ice path. It's got the AoE versus the illusions, though Naga does have a natural dispel.
Okay. Last band before their next pick. I'm fine with them going back for the Crystal Maiden or something along those lines again. Actually, get rid
Also
of the
good.
Enigma. Interesting. Yeah, it's like it's decent against the Naga Siren, it seems like, right? Like you don't have a real way of canceling the freezing field, and if like the Naga team wants to set up on you, you either are trading Song of the Siren or not. But I like kind of just how they play with the CM Marana lane as well, if they want to play this as like a core Marana. Yeah, there they go.
There it is. It's a good setup for that Marana. We saw that lane do well, but also AoE spells for the Naga, whether it's core or support, will be nice.
And I like the Enigma response here because now it's like one of those things that you would actually struggle quite a bit in the Marana Crystal Maiden lane against an Enigma, because you don't have like real good ways of threatening this hero with arrow. You can just summon the Eidolons wherever you want. They're going to go back for the Wind Ranger again, which this could be carry Wind Ranger, or it could be mid Wind Ranger or support. So it doesn't really tell us too much. Pure last game did not have the best of time on this hero, but with the Pangolier removed, no Beastmaster, no Sand King, he has quite a bit of options, and they will just go and pick up the Mars early for Ramses.
All right, so a lot of flex from the Naga Wind Ranger, and then you got to reveal something. So the Mars will just be a very stable offlaner, which is probably a Marana, right? So you'll feel comfortable in that matchup. But even if you end up flexing it to position 4 Marana, I mean, Mars, he's popular as an offlaner because one of the things he brings is a very stable lane. 2 repositioning spells. Even people who are good versus you, you just push them away from you and run away. So it should be a pretty safe pick here. Now, how does Nouns want to punish it? If they're okay with the Marana matchup into the Mars, you can go grab some other lanes. But if you want a stronger counter pick, now is the time to possibly do that. Put that Marana 4. You might try to hide it for a little longer.
Okay.
But you got to think about it.
So the Doom for Gunnar makes me kind of lean more towards this being a carry Marana. I don't think like Doom Marana is a really strong offlane duo. So we might see a more aggressive hero from Lelis here. In terms of what that's going to be, we'll see. But I think you don't really want to run the Naga Siren core into Doom now. It's a pretty rough one. You really need some follow-up damage for the Doom, though. That's the main thing I'm worried about. Is like, if you want to commit the Doom early, yeah, the stopping the healing is nice, but you have to get enough damage into him to where the Doom's for sure going to finish. So I'm curious what they want to bring, whether that be from the mid or the off lane here.
You can try to hide the Marana flex a little longer.
Tundra eSports.
With what? Okay, there you go. The Dragon Knight. So this is a hero who could run carry or mid.
That's cool. It's a really smart pick. They've done this before with the Marana.
Yeah, and actually Mars, like if you do run a carry Dragon Knight, he's pretty tanky. So I'm not that scared if you like leave him alone versus the Mars and the Crystal Maiden starts roaming later on. Give yourself some options there. It's also another stun, so if you do run support Mirana, she will be able to potentially gank mid, right? Where Dragonite sets up a stun into the arrow. It's much easier to do that with some kind of crowd control. If you just have to shoot the blind arrow, especially against like a Wind Ranger, right? Then you're like, I don't really want to walk to that mid lane. And now maybe you're not, because you got to deal with a Brood Mother.
That's got to be carry Brood, right? So we're seeing
I think so.
mid Wind Ranger with the support Naga Siren. I don't think I've seen Thompson take Brood Mother to the mid lane, but you know, I'm up for anything.
5 seconds
I mean, he would. I can see him doing that.
If there's anyone who would, yeah, probably him. That's true.
Turn to ban.
Look at the carrier offlane Brood, support or carry Naga, mid carry support Wind Ranger. It's very open coming into this last pick. This is Tundra bringing some creative picks, and now Nouns has to figure out like, what is the trick being hidden here.
5 seconds.
I think it's times like these that maybe you just continue to prioritize your own game. You just let them do what they want to do, but you don't mess up your own draft trying to address what is a very confusing / flexible lineup that they then get you. And you're like, wait, this doesn't work with my own lineup now, right? If you at least pick something that synergizes with your own team, even if they surprise you with something, like you still have something to play for.
Tundra eSports turn to ban.
Okay, Invoker as well as the Zeus band in mid. So I'm curious what they want to. I mean, it doesn't necessarily mean it is going to be Dragonite mid, but it kind of leans that way, right? I think they are like hoping they can get away with running Dragonite mid and the carry Mirana. And what they need here would be like the 4 position for Lelis. They still ban out the Shaker, which makes sense. You know, you're against a Brood Mother, kind of scary. Grimstroke looks insane for Nouns if they can get it. So I am curious
Cool.
if that's what they want to look for. The potential for double dooms, dragon tails, just the blink setups as well into follow-up initiation. And there's not really a save from Tundra, right? So you gotta be a little worried about that one. I don't think Tundra would want it for themselves. So they're maybe opting for, they're thinking maybe support Wind Ranger here.
Hey, Puck. Oh, and they're going to go for a Bat Rider. Man, what?
Mid-bat?
You do not know what you're playing into. I do think you put the Bat Rider where the Dragonite is. If it's Dragonite mid, you go Bat Rider there. If Dragonite carry, you can still bring the Bat Rider there.
Dude,
Could still just
honestly,
do support Bat Rider. Like, it's so open.
yeah. I like Grimstroke so much with their draft. It just comes down to whether or not they're feeling okay enough to run the Dragonite mid, which if it is Bat Rider mid, it's not going to be easy, but I think you can do it still. Okay, they go Queen of Pain. A hero we don't see all that often, but decent against the Bat Rider matchup if they want to try and run it in the mid lane. And it's a lot of burst damage for your team. We're talking about something to secure your Doom target. Queen of Pain will do that.
Yeah, you wanted someone mobile. That's why they banned out the Puck as well, because a lot of the stuns they do have are not instant. They're projectiles that can be dodged. Queen of Pain, Blink's not as good as the Phase Shift, but she might be able to get out of some stuff, including Arena. Undecided so far. Okay. Pure is going to take Broodmother. I guess not too surprising.
It's which
know,
one's
crazy,
going
like,
mid?
Mid-Mars, type stuff that Dark Mago would have done, but maybe Thompson, he's not as big of a fan of that.
They still haven't decided on this Wind Ranger. Okay, it's going to be Thompson on the Bat Rider. Going to go Arsonist as well, which is typically what we see from the core Bat Riders, giving you a lot of tower damage. Add that in with the Brood Mother, you could get a lot done early.
Don't think we shouldn't really see Queen of Pain be killed versus the Bat Rider. So I don't know, I guess both mids farming up what they need and looking to rotate. Lelis will have some options. Actually, I don't know. His ganking is like really like if he goes to the Twin Gate, because that's where you have Frostbite, Dragon Tail. Because those two heroes ended up in the same lane, like Gunner on the Doom, it's not the easiest setup unless you take like a really early stun, which you don't usually on Doom, and then Queen of Pain. I mean, I guess you can slow, but it's not the easiest arrow to land.
This will be a fun one. I'm curious what build 9 class goes on the Wind Ranger, because he's got Whirlwind at the moment. Typically, when you see this as a support Wind Ranger, like Mage Slayer is incredibly strong to just like go into the fight, press Whirlwind, and spread the Mage Slayer debuff out onto as many heroes as you can. Whether or not he goes down that route, we'll see. Because you have like an offlaner in the MOUZ who typically likes to rush the Blink Dagger. Ramsey specifically really likes like the BKB and Scythe of Ice. He doesn't really like building things like the Pipe or the Guardian Greaves, so it's got to come from someone else. I'm curious where that's going to be in their draft, but it should be a fun one, man. This is going to be exciting. Game number 2 as we get ready to jump into it. Predictions from you, Zach. Whose draft do you like the most?
I like the core Maranas more nowadays. I feel like we've seen some support Maranas that don't quite feel as impactful as they used to in the past. Perhaps, I don't know, Lels was playing amazingly well last game, right? So I'm sure you can carry that over to the Marana. I just think it's a little harder to land the arrows like on his half of the map. He's going to have to twin gate over, which is always a little awkward. I'm scared of the pure Broodmother, man, if I'm Nouns. But maybe with Yuma Dragonite, like maybe wherever Broodmother goes, you put the Dragonite.
Yeah, maybe. I'm trying to see if there's
nothing
anything
too crazy
different. I mean,
we
Victory
do see the
Feast...
Marana.
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead. Marana goes for the classic Moonlight Shadow as the support. Sometimes we see the Solar Flare still picked up, but I don't think it's as good this game. Yeah. And maybe suggest he's not looking to build damage like the Gleipnir. Maybe he's going to be building some auras himself, more utility focused.
A lot of people still think this is Tundra, you know, on the odds there, right? Like Nouns were going off like almost 4-1 in the first game and still like at a disadvantage technically in terms of what the general population thinks. I don't know, man. Nouns have been on a burner and they're looking real clean. If they can keep that going, they are one of the favorites in this event at the moment. We'll see though, as smoke up from both teams. Double ward in the mid lane again from Tundra. They really want to protect Thompson's lane.
He placed a web top. I don't know if this is a mind game or if he thinks Necrotic Web still works up there.
It's like in the weird spot. Oh, no, it isn't. It's like in the lane. Yeah, I have no idea.
Because I was wondering, it's like, is this a lane swap with the Brood? But he ends up just twin gating down here.
Yeah, it's just a waste of mana. He's still. I mean, it's not like it matters. Broodmother uses no mana in the lane, but
yeah, for the first couple levels, won't be a huge deal.
Yeah, a little bit of a DC. We've seen Yuma's Dragonite quite a bit. I feel like this is a hero in particular that is kind of feast or famine. Like he either gets off to a really good start and then progresses into things like his Blink and his Orchid and all sorts of stuff, and he just becomes this absolute massive damage dealer in the mid game. But there's also some times when it just falls flat and you're kind of just like a initiator that you wish was another hero almost, you know?
Yeah, which if Copy is having a great game, we do see Queen of Pain scale into this carry style hero, which could be good. And now that I think about it, the acronyms on Queen of Pain's looking amazing this game, actually.
Yeah, it really does. Because when you mirror image, it dispels, right? So it like sends a scream anyway.
I think so. Although you're technically gone, but
yeah.
It may not hit you, but everyone around you.
But if your illusions are going in, right, and you hit like 3 of the Naga illusions, it's pretty scary. I'm curious how Copy's going to play the mid lane. Of course, it's just going to be Sticky Napalm level 1. He's going to go Scream. Okay, I was like, a lot of times you want to play for just shoving the wave, and that's exactly what he's going to do.
Couple things to keep our eyes on. Let's see which creep gunner manages to pick up early. That can often decide early lanes. for a Doom if you're lucky with the creeps or unlucky.
You should get a lot of harassment out of the Mirana in this lane, which is kind of nice. I like that he started just early circlets and branches. Like, he wants to be able to get as much harassment off as possible in these early stages. Clean up the illusions immediately. Sick. And then 6 gold going their way. Huge.
Game winning.
So much gold. Yeah, no, lanes are looking pretty good here in this bottom side for Nouns. I think it'll get better for Pure as he gets extra levels, right? Incapacitating Bite, as well as the Insatiable Hunger, more levels in just his innate for the Spider's Milk means he sustains quite well. And I think once you get the Deluge on Whitemon, he's going to be very happy.
I'm surprised he actually didn't start with Deluge, but I guess maybe into I think like Mirror Image can be good harass, but since they have some AoE on Mirana, and then Gunner will take Scorched Earth soon, or maybe like early point in Deluge, but trust him with it. He's using Illusion to harass while also, I thought he was gonna pull. He's actually jungling the small. Oh, I see. It's a Harpy creep. I was like, why is he jungling right now? He's killing the Harpy before Doom can eat it. There you go.
It's a big deal. We've seen this happen multiple times where you get a Harpy creep and then you just immediately buy mana boots.
Yeah, that's such a good call.
I'm surprised. Copy like blinked out there and decided not to grab the water rune, but he's just actually getting denies instead, so that works. Arrow connects onto Whitemon. A little bit of chip damage into the Naga Siren as the 3-minute water runes are coming. Gunner would definitely like this. He should be able to get it. Infernal Blade makes it kind of difficult. Oh, nope.
Ooh, fast fingers on Whitemon. Missed?
But she... Wait, what?
Oh, maybe he canceled it.
I don't think so. I actually have no idea how that happened.
I think he probably should just canceled his attack. There's no way to miss.
He doesn't have incapacitating bite. Yeah, I
Yeah,
have
there's
no
no
idea.
evasion. No, wait, I forgot. The innate of Naga is the 6% evasion per other Siren. He missed on a 6%.
Huge. Meanwhile, Copy gets first blood in the mid lane. He's going to burn out to Thompson anyway, but the XP is going to be a pretty big difference in terms of who dies first there. Dragon Knight going down in the top lane. Okay. Really good find from Ramses.
Things are starting to heat up. 9 class has 2 points in power shot. That's a lot of early damage. The 270 if you're hitting the first target.
Which not too hard with, you know, God's Rebuke and a spear.
Yeah, clearing out all the creeps. They cliffed Gunner with Ensnare. Fly?
Topside fly, taking a lot of damage there. I mean, Ramses also gets chipped down quite a bit, so I think you might be okay with that. Ooh, power shot connects, but yeah, mid lane here, Thompson just hits level 5. Copy about half a level ahead at the moment.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Last game we saw a lot of momentum start to build for Nouns when they started rotating around the 6-minute runes. They came a little early, got themselves the runes, played aggressive. Let's see if they're going to do something similar this time. Queen of Pain is actually going to be the one to rotate out a little early. She's like just short of 6. It feels a little funny.
Yeah.
At the same time, that's extra surprising. That's like the 5D chess move for a pro match.
Like
Unfortunately,
maybe,
there was an observer that just spotted him, so
yeah.
wasn't
I was
really
like,
gonna work.
maybe you kill like a creep or something as you walk in and get level 6, and then they're like,
Yeah.
oh god.
You like tell Yuma to breathe fire as soon as you blink in to give you
Yeah.
level 6.
But
Oh, he's
overall,
got it now.
Really even lanes. I think the Doom struggling a little bit bottom, which isn't that surprising. It's not a super strong lane hero. You're up against the Broodmother, which should be pretty chill. Bottom lane, regen gets found. 9 class gets deleted by the Sonic Wave.
Option hit 6 off of this.
Nice blink towards Fly, though. He actually has no way to pressure it into the Crystal Maiden. We had, a long time ago, when we were seeing a ton of Crystal Maiden, or a ton of Bat Rider, we saw a lot of Crystal Maiden responses.
It's just like a patch ago. It wasn't that long.
Yeah, maybe it was only that long. I don't know. It feels like it's been longer. Gunner bottom
Tinker
lane
is
getting
slowed down time.
Yeah, chase down here as 9 class helps secure the kill with Pure. That's a nice find.
Waimon is bullying Lelis. He's trying to race him to the Wisdom Rune. Reel in. Oh, with the power shot?
He's gonna
His
have to
courier.
salve after this. Dude, that's a lot on the courier.
Radiant are scanning.
He's gonna make it in time,
No
but
leaps.
he might just
Second blood grenade?
Dire's
arrow.
Oh, is that worth an observer?
I don't know. Fly also gets the other one, so
is under attack.
and Gunner kills Whitemon. I don't think it's worth it anymore. You trade 1 for 1, lose your observer, and you lose both wisdom runes. It's hard to say. Mid lane, Copy might be looking for Thompson, but he pops the regen rune here, so he's gonna be okay.
I appreciate the dedication to the kill.
It was funny. It was definitely
Yeah.
funny, and I
I
like
don't know
that.
if it's worth it, but I'm glad we got to see it.
Gunner bottom lane, caught inside the arena.
Oh, wow,
Great
that's fast.
rotation. Yeah, Pure's got a ton of spiders here.
There we go. Picking up the pace a little bit. All right, like that's the kind of play we didn't really see from the Kunkka last time.
Mm-hmm.
Dire are
But this time the Mars comes over with that level 6.
Ooh.
Nice kill. Ooh, they set up for him as he comes out for the Twin Gate.
You don't have a
Let me
lot of
just go back.
damage.
This topside is not
I'm
so
just
friendly
kidding,
of a
guys. I'm
place.
kidding. I'm going bottom. I wouldn't mean to be here.
fortified.
That's
Yeah,
funny.
I mean, they tried to do the arrow combo, but the raindrops, plus the fact he's just such a tanky hero. He went double bracer soul ring, so. Oh, that
That
doom
was very
kill,
funny.
Pure actually finished up that bottom tower.
Not something you see all that often, but Broodmother's very capable of doing so. Zuma trying to chip down top tower here, standing inside the Verdurous Dale.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Oh, they found a stacks to farm themselves. Doom's also in his own triangle farming some stacks. He is going to walk into Pure. He has a Doom available. He throws it at the last second. They clean up the creeps and the Sonic Wave is there. They get him. What a TP from Copy. Oh, that was close.
Is under attack.
I cannot believe he didn't misclick a spider.
He clicked the hero portrait for sure.
You can't do that with targeted abilities.
Wait, really?
Yeah, you have to target the hero. Maybe he used the new Dota Labs command. You can only target your own allied heroes with the portrait.
I see, I see. Well, that's pretty cool. Ramses does manage to get Gunner bottom anyway with the arena, so that's a good, that's a funny tip. Good use, good rotations from Ramses. I mean, he's getting a lot done on his Mars already this game. I mean, look at Gunner's net worth, dude. He is really struggling.
Rough lane. It is a Doom, so you've got your Devour. You're going to work on your Midas. You'll catch up over time. We're going to have to be looking at Copy, the top of the net worth.
Yeah. It's a good time to take a shout out for our sponsors, 1xBet. Make sure to join the promo code that they have going on. It's Universe, UNVRS3. There's a 100% welcome bonus deposit. There's a pin chat message if you guys want to take advantage of that while you can. Ramsey's looking for another hero. Doesn't have the arena though, so he should be fine. I am curious what his build is going to be this game, because he really does like the blink into things like the... Oh, they are setting up here. Yuma knows that Ramsey's going to be back down here in a moment. Dragon Tail into Arrow. He's not anywhere close by. He's just trying to body block him, but here come the TPs. Tundra want to fight. Free, nice little Frostbite out onto Thompson. Spear comes out, pins down the Crystal Maiden, Breathe Fire back to the way. In comes Gunner. The lasso is there, pulls him back in. Where's your Queen of Pain? You need her. The Sonic Wave would be doing so much work here, but it's not in time. Gunner, how long on that Doom? 1 second away, but there's the Sonic Wave. Gets the kill onto Thompson anyway. And the chase is going to continue. Queen of Pain jumps in, looking for more. Nice spear back from Ramses, though.
Waymon picks up that level 6 from the kill on the Dragon Knight, allowing him to get out there.
Ramses like kind of wants Gunner to throw the Doom here, I think. He's like, yeah, go for it.
Do it.
See what happens.
Dire are scanning. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
This
Going on here?
I mean, again, Ramses, I think, just baits. He knows the Doom's not enough damage. He would need more heroes, and they don't have it. So he'll just back away, get his Midas. Pure, however, is farming up a Storm on the Broodmother. He's wait a minute. Nice Atos reveal here from Compy. Fly with the Freezing Field. Do they have the damage? The leaps are coming through. They got him. An Atos reveal from your mid lane Queen of Pain. It's almost always things like Dagon.
Yeah, that is the most common build now. Once a Gleipnir, though, maybe to deal with the spiders and the illusions, as well as multiple mobile heroes, right? The Bat Rider and the Wind Ranger just want to run around in fights. Such a really cool pickup and a cool choice to get the Atos first because his team still needs a little bit more setup to help connect on arrows.
That's why earlier I was unsure about the Queen of Pain pick in the mid lane, because a lot of times you want your Mirana to play around your mid laner. And I was like, oh, well, you don't have it. Doom comes out. The rotation's coming. 9 class. Whitemon are like, oh, crap. We do not have the help quite yet. Doom will help finish off the Mars. Now you got to look for Whitemon. Do they have the damage? He gets the TP. All right. Not that bad. Mid lane, though.
Power shot almost
looking
finishes
for
flawless.
Thompson. Atos is out. Yuma, if he connects onto the Dragon Tail, they get him. Lasso is available, but the Sonic Wave will do it. Compy dominating on this Queen of Pain now.
9 class actually never left. He's still in the triangle, trying to waste some time.
Pick out! You ain't getting away now. This is probably a dead Wind Ranger. She has TP, but she knows. An easy TP in from Fly. An arrow to yoink the kill, says Lelis. I'm helping, guys. I'm helping.
What is this world where the position for Mirana is going straight Maelstrom, and Coffee's the one who got the Atos first?
Ooh, there is a community drop winner. Congratulations on the Techies Immortal. Hog. I love
Was that not the Arcana?
Or that's what I mean, the Arcana. Yes,
Okay,
the
okay.
Arcana. Yeah, that's the correct words. Thank you. I know items.
I hope you were a Techies player. That's a good one to get. But you either love or you hate Techies. Now you have to love it.
That's super cool. If you guys are trying to figure out how you can participate and win these drops, you just gotta be in chat and be participating, but not toxic. That's the #1.
Perhaps comment on how cool that arena was, picking up 2 support kills for the
That
side
was
of
sick.
Tundra.
That's Blink reveal, right? From Ramses? I don't think we saw that earlier. Or was that even Blink?
I think he did blink on that. I think he's had it for a
Yeah.
moment, but
Might have gotten
one of the
dinged
earlier
bottom, I'm not
kills.
sure.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
well, Yor is farming. We were talking about how you kind of want to just set this guy up for success.
Radiant
He's at the
are
top.
scanning.
Yeah,
I'm not sure when he reaches this like unkillable mode though on a carry Broodmother this game.
You're against a Doom, man. It's you never get to
Yeah.
like unkillable mode, right? It's one of those
That's-
heroes that like you love fighting with lifesteal, but if you get doomed, it is hard.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. If like this is enough of a lead on the Broodmother.
Okay, that ward's gonna get scouted immediately as they see Fly going in. He's gonna get Blink lassoed up. A quick silence out from Pure, consumed by spiders. Sounds like
It's gotta be one of the worst ways to go.
or the best, depending on you know. If you're a
Gonna
Broodmother fan.
We're gonna go with the worst.
Probably, yeah. That's I'm sure a lot of people's nightmare.
All right, Pure's gonna try to use this Orchid that he's got. They're gonna play aggressive. They're moving in. Observer on the cliff, positioning webs for both tier 2s, mid and top.
Ooh, nice blink spear out from Ramses. The Orchid out to follow. He is all alone. He will die there to Whitemon, actually getting credited the kill. So they're losing mid tier 2. Well, I say that big freezing field, but a good pushback from Fly in the arena comes out. Okay, and he's kept the Arsonist stacks up, so 10 on your tower. It is not going to stand a chance, and the Song of the Siren out from Whitemon will isolate the Doom as the Orchid comes out, and just Pure goes right through this guy. Backside of the fight, in comes Compy, trying to maybe find a kill onto 9 class, but he's alone. It's just a spear back as well. You can't afford to just drop these deaths one by one.
That's a disaster, and it's right by your base. Pure
You're going to
has
lose a full lane of barracks.
Okay,
if they want to push, you can.
I thought Thompson would stay with Arsonist. He actually left. Okay, maybe they don't want to do this right now. I thought you could get a good amount of damage in. But maybe you're worried about a buyback and you're pushing tier 3s at 17 minutes. You kind of already know you're in the lead, so you don't need to take that kind of a crazy risk.
That was just a series of really nice pickoffs from Tundra, and I think Nouns maybe getting a little bit ahead of themselves on their power scaling, right? Like just falling, like dying one by one there, right? The mid lane first with the Crystal Maiden, and then Doom. It's just, you can't afford to play those types of fights against them.
They were trying, because Dragon Knight got killed in the top lane, they were trying to capitalize on that. It's like, okay, maybe we can punish this Bat Rider on his own, freezing field right next to him, at the least bait out a lasso to stop it. But Webs makes Broodmother so fast, everyone else on our team is actually pretty fast too, so they all make their way mid to then help the Bat Rider, and that's where it then snowballed, and Nouns probably needed to cut their losses a little bit faster.
Yeah, I'm looking through at items, and Whitemon does have his mech, right? And Gunner is about to finish up his pipe. He is got it on the, okay, there it is. So he manages to do that, which will help a lot in these fights. But there is a BKB done on Pure, and I feel like they are fully capable of just threatening the high ground. You don't have like a Blink Doom who's going to come in and doom the Broodmother, right? So deeping into the mid lane, they actually see Mirana. As Lelis is trying to cut the wave here. 9 class will hit him with power shot. Lasso now comes through from Thompson. Very easy kill for him.
This time Tundra is the ones with the very fast-paced action. The beginning of the game was a little bit slow, but over the last couple minutes, they've been really ramping it up. Looking to defend their ward after that mid kill. Already running back in, giving no space to Nouns.
The multiple rotations from Ramses to Arena, Gunner, and kill him in the early game has massively hurt their ability to play.
That's true, yeah. Just he's the aura builder, or he's the one who's gonna like build Blink to then Doom pick off. But slowing that down means, well, he ended up getting the auras, but they're just pretty late. I mean, you've already lost so much of your map by the time this pipe is out.
Ooh, Copy needs to be careful in the bottom lane. Real quick though, don't forget to follow and subscribe here to FISSURE Studios on Twitch and on YouTube. They've been putting together a really sick tournament. As a really sick find from Whitemon, a setup onto the Queen of Pain. She's got no way out of this one. Another Arena Spear. And now you're in a situation of I mean, they essentially have built a 9,000 gold lead in 5 minutes on Tundra.
Yeah, they're trying to get a Tormentor, but it's actually really close. Okay, they've got the mech, and it's going to be needed. They're going to finish that off before Tundra can come in and steal it. Goes to Fly. It's actually really good this game. The Crystal Clone, very strong versus these heroes. Though if you're close enough to use Crystal Clone, you're probably about to die shortly after. Pyore's looking at Gunner.
He's going to immediately pipe and TP. That'll be enough.
Very good call, but I see Bloodthorn just got finished on Broodmother. It's being delivered, and that's not going to work a second time. Those spiderlings will destroy you before you can teleport out.
Thompson with an Arcane Rune, looking for any lasso opportunity at the moment. Guardian Greaves done on the Naga Siren. You've fallen so far behind so fast in this game.
Dragon Knight, he's not like the typical carry where you say, oh, as long as we go late, like, we're going to win. We do see Dragon Knight scale pretty well, but I don't know if it's well enough to feel like you can rely on that. Ooh, maybe it would have been a misclick there. Got to keep this game close.
They went for like a Gleipnir play. I think he had just BKB to run away. But now that they see the BKB is spent, they actually smoke up on Nouns. They want to try and take a fight to Tundras. They are going into the Roche Pit. It's not exceptionally fast. The Bloodthorn on cooldown for a few more seconds. I mean, it's going to die immediately when the Bloodthorn does come out, though. Oh, no, all the spiders died. Okay, that slows it up a little bit. Are they going to figure it out? Nouns are trying to make the wraparound. They see 9 class in the trees, but the Aegis already on the deck. Gunner. They drop the ward up onto the high ground. Thompson's going to come in. Gunner's really looking for him. He gets the Doom. A nice find, but he just walks away, and the arena comes out from Ramses. Goodbye, Doom. It's a 1-for-1 at the moment as Yuma's trying to stay on top of Thompson, but guess what? Flying through the trees, Sonic Wave's not going to connect. It only hits Whitemon, and he survives. Oh, no. Bloodthorn out onto the Mirana. She's dead. Whitemon in trouble, but saved by the lasso from Thompson. And just like that, Nouns will lose 4. Only for a support Wind Ranger.
The greatest pick-off to get. They did get the Doom onto Batrider, and Yuma tried to run it down. The arrow connected between all these heroes. I thought that was going to be enough to at least grab the Batrider, but this is what happens when you're 12k behind and you just don't have a lot of damage to work with. You get split up in that fight. Song comes out to break it up further. Doesn't even have the shard yet to heal, but
yeah,
still enough time to just reset cooldowns and then clean that up. Now you don't have any of your abilities to defend your high ground.
And you have an Aegis on a Broodmother who is going to feel very happy to just walk up and start taking your buildings. Top lane, Poppy. Messing with Ramses a little bit, maybe trying to force the BKB, but he needs to be careful. We'll be able to blink out, dodge the shackle shot. That is a Deso for the Mars. It's a good Deso game. It's a very good Deso game.
I mean, if you lose a fight in the base again, it's gone. Broodmother plus Deso. Waiting for Thompson to grab a lasso. He's gonna find
there
Aurora.
It is. The pipe comes out, but the Bloodthorn there. Easy way to secure the kill as they now turn their attention to the tier 3 tower. You have a fortification, but yeah, there's so many spiders. You kind of have to clear those up first. Fort finally does come through, but the creep wave not here.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
First tier 3 down. I'm gonna back off for now as Mirana gets close to respawning. I'm gonna wait for a pickoff. You have 2.5 minutes on Aegis. You don't have to rush it. You just keep looking for these pickoffs that you've been, I mean, you found them throughout the entire game. I imagine Tundra will continue to be able to find pickoffs with the Blink Lasso. And once you find anyone, really, you can just go. Nouns is pretty far behind that. Even a support is very essential to the defense.
It's really scary because you have to doom the Broodmother if you want to kill her at this point, but she has an Aegis. So I don't know who you doom instead, right? Is it just the Batrider and hope that you kill him? Meanwhile, copying the top side, he has the Sonic Wave of... Oh, no! It doesn't connect, but does he still finish the job? He does. He has a TP. I mean, that's honestly really good movement from Thompson to kind of just play right on top of the hero.
Oh, I thought he was channeling a power shot. Snipe that Queen of Pain. All right, good pickoff. Buys his team time. Did Doom sold his Midas, didn't he? He's using Devil's Bargain, sold the Midas to buy the BKB. Now go back.
Oh,
for
did
it?
he? Okay.
I think so.
Well, speaking of Doom in some trouble, Manta out from Pure to the... Ooh, he Dragon Tail the creep! Not ideal. Frostbite's still there. Pure forced to BKB, turns around. The Doom comes out as well. He actually doesn't have an Aegis or a BKB. Ramses on the front side will spear up the Doom. Meanwhile, Whitemon holding the entirety of Noun's back will not let them start this fight, but BKB out from Gunner. Whirlwind out from 9 Class. He tanks the arrow, but they've got Ramses. He's dead. Lasso out from Thompson, but the freezing field from Fly doing so much work. Wait a minute, Nouns. Surprising Tundra as they wipe 4 heroes for nothing. They get the gem? How do they hold this?
Hobson was still dead on the Bat Rider. I think Pure felt maybe a little too strong with that Aegis going. He's like, they're not going to doom me. So they push a bit aggressively, but Nouns was they were ready. They were all here for this.
Oh, they found Ramses. He has a BKB. He's just going to be forced to use it. Copy, actually, got to be careful. Here's a lot of damage from Copy. All right, Ramses will TP out.
I mean, it's only a 6k lead now. You never lost barracks. You lost a tier 3, but you've got all your barracks still.
I am shocked. That is a pretty massive turnaround for Nouns. Whether or not they can transition this into like a full-blown recovery, we'll see, because this definitely gives them a lot of space to try and get back into this game. I think the gem is pretty huge to lose.
That's true. That's what's giving you comfort when you move around, that you're not having the Moonlight Shadows just watching you. The vision game as well, we actually see they've lost pretty much all their wards. I think actually all of them now. They had a bunch of aggressive vision down because they felt so in control of the game, but now that you've given up the gem, those aggressive wards have been removed by Lelis, just checking everywhere. And how these fights break out, clearly very important. Thompson starting fights with a quick lasso pickoff has been what's led to the success of Tundra. And now that you've lost the vision, it's very hard to make those kind of plays.
We're starting to see a little bit of the aura difference as well, right? You have the Guardian Greaves on the Mirana, the Pipe on Doom, the drums on Fly. Meanwhile, you only really have the Guardian Greaves on Whitemon. That's it. And Ramsey's going to go back for the Scythe of Ice, realizing, okay, maybe we need a little bit more lockdown, you know? Maybe the Deso is not... I mean, it's still a very good Deso game. Like, the amount of damage it adds into their team fight is huge, but I think overall, Nouns with these auras are something you got to start respecting and playing around.
Mm-hmm.
As we're going to go see a Solar Crest pick up, and as well as a Lotus soon for the Doom, which is, I mean, really good. Being able to get out of the Bloodthorn is kind of massive. Yuma nearby smoked up, so is the Doom. Do they find their target? Gunner's smoke gets popped, and it's going to be an immediate lasso. Can he get the BKB off? No, he cannot. Goodbye, Doom. As now Pure looks in, going for Yuma here. Sonic Wave is out. He's forced to BKB. The damage! The heal's doing some work, and Song of the Siren comes out from Whitemon. The reset copy. Gonna be forced to BKB, but you have no BKB on the Brood. Can they bring him down in time? Fly with a huge freezing field, doing some work. But is it enough? It's not. 9 Class on the backside with a Whirlwind, getting a lot done, but Copy is out of gas. They're looking to chain stun him up, and they got him to blink into the base, but he still burns to Thompson. 4 dead on Nouns as they move to the high ground. And Arsonist going to start getting a lot of tower damage here for this Bat Rider. You do have a fort. It could slow this down enough.
Maybe only Doom will be up. You don't have a tower to actually clear these creeps. All right, they are going to use it.
You get a refresh anyway, right? Like, you might as well. Doom's TPing in on the backside.
You never use Doom.
He's going to come in. The buyback comes through. Does he get his Doom target? He needs to get Bat Rider, but can he? He's trying to get it without committing the Doom. He's going to do it anyway. They cannot afford to let him run away. All right, a buyback on Fly. You only lose the ranged barracks. And Roshan up in 50 seconds.
Luckier on the Roche, they could feel comfortable getting that. You're probably going to have to take one more fight for it.
quick reminder, everybody, there is a giveaway going on right now, and if you want to join that, you can go ahead and type !1xgive in chat to find out the details on how to participate. Yuma continuing to push top lane. Okay, I was shocked at the amount of damage they did on that Sonic Wave to the BKB Broodmother, right? Like, he was getting chunked by this DK as well.
Yeah, Dragonite, I mean, I was saying, he scales better than he used to. He's got his Daedalus. He has a lot of attack speed from that Mask of Madness. He will start hitting pretty hard.
Hoping he was going to find the real Naga Siren there. Doesn't manage to. He'll clear out this bottom wave and now look for the Roshan. Tundra have to know that this is happening. They're going to TP in on Thompson. Do you finish it fast enough is the question. It's going to be quick. Freezing field drums. Everything committed from the Nouns. The timer on Tundra. It's shrinking.
You gotta
It's going to hit the deck. You got the Aegis and the copy. Everything is out. Can you disengage? The scan comes through, connects. They're going to the north. They see them. Thompson wants his lasso. He gets it. It's going to be on to the Dragon Knight, but he's a tanky one, and they're not going to follow it up. They're afraid.
They don't know Queen of Pain and Crystal Maiden actually TP'd out. I think you push that fight if you recognize that, but they hadn't shown, so you just assume they're all in there, and you're realizing Lasso's ending, and this is a full health Dragonite.
With
still in his
BKB
dragon
still,
form.
you know?
Yeah, so they decide to just back off. Understandable, but a little unfortunate for them.
That brings this game very close. It's still a massive win probability advantage for Tundra, which I'm surprised. Again, we saw this earlier. I think this is something to do with Naga Siren, because it was also a support Naga Siren where like they were 70% favored and then they lost. So I'm not 100% sure, but it feels closer. To me, it's like 60-40 maybe for Tundra.
I mean, if I had to guess, the algorithm is used to carry Nagas. It's like, oh yeah, the game's going late. Naga's going to win. But, aha, it's a support Naga.
And Copy is starting to scale, man. He's got Gleipnir, BKB, and an Assault Kuros. Like, Queen of Pain's damage output late game is kind of wild. Scythe of Ice done on Ramses, though. Huge pickup.
Yeah, if he can find some nice pickoffs with that, that's now another person, right? Before it's like, okay, we just have to worry about where Bat Rider is. But now this Blink Hex from the Mars could also be setting up these kills. Smoke out from Nouns. No one is near them, actually. Tundra's playing very safe.
You know what? Do you think the Chain Lightning benefits from the Spell Amp on the Queen of Pain?
Oh, probably.
Right, because she just gets 15% Spell Amp from Masochist.
Pretty sure Spell Amp works on Maelstrom, unless that was changed.
It's one of those things where I was like,
I forgot this tier 1 tower is still up, actually.
You're like, wait a minute, how did this get here? Buys his AC, clears the tier 1 tower. They also get a free courier, which is nice, but you gotta go back, dude. Your base starting to get pushed. Yeah. I mean, they have great ways of clearing them. It's just you gotta respect the Broodmother split push for sure. Big Sonic Wave cooldown talent there for the Queen of Pain as well.
You might see 2 Scream of Pains to start a fight. Or sorry, Sonic Waves to start a fight. They're gonna be careful. They're looking for that Blink Lasso.
If it's onto the Queen of Pain, you might be okay since she has the Aegis. But actually, she's just walking in. She's like, I see you here somewhere. I see this fire trail. The Blink dodge? Where'd he go? He went in aggressively. Oh my goodness. Copy. Is he done? He's not done. He's toying with them almost. That was wild.
Feeling very strong with his Aegis.
I mean, you have the Lotus on him as well, right? You can't really go for this Blink Hex or Blink Lasso with the Lotus Queen of Pain.
He's a little bit of a fake bait, because Dragonite's actually not here. The fight breaks out.
Yeah. He's too busy grabbing the Wisdom Rune, gets his 20 talent. Elder Form Dragon attack range is pretty huge. It's a really good pickup. Gunner smoked up, gonna walk right into him. Gets hexed out from Ramses. We've seen this before. Can they finish him in time? He gets the BKB off, but no Doom. You've lost Ramses, a 1-for-1 in 9 class, just getting beat down on the backside by Copy. Sonic Wave to finish the job. He'll take it, a 2-for-1. But do you have more in the tank? Still under the cover of Moonlight's shadow for the moment. Copies Aegis for another minute. And Yuma committed BKB. Gotta be careful. Top lane Pure can pressure the buildings.
I mean, that's a pretty good fight considering that Gunnar actually didn't get his abilities off. He didn't even BKB or Doom. So Mars used his. As soon as Gunnar's up, you can look to fight again.
They're drawing line to tops
and
and
they don't.
The damage from Yuma is overwhelming. A single Dragon Tail on a couple of crits. That's a huge pick. They assume there's like no way they're not gonna like respond to the top push, right? Oh my goodness.
I mean, this is a Dragonite. When he's an Elder Dragon form, he's hitting for 500 damage and then sometimes crits with a Daedalus.
Yeah.
So it is
You've
a
got to
lot of
respond to
damage
this.
coming out.
Copy needs to be careful. Well, actually, he's got an Aegis.
5 seconds on Aegis. He's got to be careful on this timing.
Okay, yeah, he's gonna blink back. Good heads up play there from Pure also to not just instantly pop the Aegis, right?
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Oh, we're closer to 50-50. I mean, it really does feel like it. It's anyone's game now. Slight, building advantage, right? No, only one tier 3 remaining for Nouns. One ranged barracks taken in the mid lane, but you got a lot of building damage from both teams.
The annoying thing for Nouns is that there's the spiders and the Naga illusions.
Yeah.
That you have to deal with splitting up your map. But if you can win a direct fight and you're near the enemy base, you're right. You do have the building damage, especially in this Dragonite, as long as he's surviving the fight. BKB's being used. Maybe not quite worth it. Support BKB for core BKB. Time to run. Get out of here. They are beelining it down here, looking for a copy, knowing he has no BKB.
9 classes items are hilarious. He's just like, yeah, I'm a carry. Well, I'm scaling, guys. I have BKB, I have Maelstrom.
So find a Maelstrom like, oh, you're gonna get a Daedalus, a Gleipnir, right? It's like, what? No. Crystallis, man.
I mean, Whirlwind's a ton of damage. We talked about it. When you get into the late game, he's level 3 Whirlwind now. 11 attacks per second with a 9-second duration. Very low cooldown as well. He just spams this to farm. Like, your Wind Ranger is a full-blown scaling core now at this point.
I mean, she's farm. She's close to passing Thompson at this rate. I feel like Gleipnir would have been good this game, though.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like she can't go back for it eventually,
That's
right?
true. That's true. Tier 4 neutrals coming out. We'll see if anyone gets anything good. Ooh, Queen of Pain with that Timeless Relic. That's an excellent one for her. She's going to start just using her ultimate to farm.
It's actually pretty funny, yeah.
Breaker for Dragonite. That's a good one.
Yeah, that's a really good one.
Gunnar, who's been focused a lot. Ascetics cap.
Yep.
That'll be very big.
Just tank up. If Gunnar survives any of these engagements, they are looking pretty good, right? If he can actually doom the Broodmother in these fights, the fight is for sure going the way of Nouns. The problem is he has not been able to cast a spell in the last, like, 3 engagements.
It's been tough. Yeah, he's been the focus. But when he gets focused too hard, as long as Nouns is in the position, we saw Dragonite be able to do the damage in that time. So,
yeah.
As long as your team's nearby, it's not the end of the world. But yes, if you want to win the fight cleanly, you're going to need to get that Doom out. Queen of Pain at 24. That 25 talent will be
top
quite
Rax
nice.
is just dead. They lost the ranged one.
Oops. I mean, that's the issue with being ratted all the time.
The Broodmother's annoying.
They wanted to set up for Roche. It's going to be in the daytime in that bottom lane. It's actually a very long Roche spawn, so quite lucky for Nouns here. But you're going to have to push out top and then try to go back bottom when you don't hear. Oh, well, actually, Nouns took the last Roche. You'll never hear the roar.
Hear the roar.
So they're just going to have to go back after they push out top enough. But the annoying thing is you can always just send illusions through the Twin Gate, the spiders through the Twin Gate, and then
slowly push the
it
other
back
lanes.
in top, yeah. Along with the fact that because that range tracks fell, it's going to push in your way anyways.
Pure is almost to his 25 talent, which is going to be a huge power spike for this hero, as he's also closing in on an Abyssal Blade. I mean, we haven't really seen the Broodmother in, you know, do a whole lot lately, right? Like, it's mostly just been following up Thompson's lasso. But Wind Ranger has a Daedalus. Okay, he has Lincolns now on Doom. That's a nice pickup. It'll help him out quite a bit. Copy the Lincolns as well. Gleipnir comes out. They're going to know Pure's up here. Arena Spear out from Ramses. Gunner immediately BKBs. They've got to deal with 9 class on this Wind Ranger. They will. They're going to be like, okay, settle for something. Meanwhile, Dragon Knight caught on the backside. That's a huge win for Tundra. He did not get BKB or anything. Was that just lasso?
It might have been. I was watching that Wind Ranger, and I think that was the lasso on the Dragon Knight.
Noun still feels strong. They know that was the double arena from the MOUZ.
Oh, it was the Blink Hex on the Dragon Knight.
Okay, that makes sense.
And with the shard on Broodmother, she has so much damage. She killed him before he could. The chain stun ended.
50 seconds for Roche still. So luckily for Nouns, Yuma will be alive as it respawns. They may not know this though.
Hey, you're assuming Tundra's gonna get the Roche here.
Yeah.
Because this is pretty much a maximum spawn. It's very unlikely.
And they have to address the other lanes. The range creeps have stacked up. They're pushing in. You cannot allow your base to fall.
Yeah, even as Dragon Knight spawns again, I don't know if you'll make it in time for Roche. As long as Tundra's in position with some spiders, like the Bloodthorn will delete the Roche. I guess it got nerfed a little bit, but it'll still be enough.
Yeah, you got plenty of damage. They're grouping up on him. Like, it has to be any second, guys. Surely it's here. That being said, Pure's not that close. Scan does come out.
There. He's fast. He's stuck. Okay, there he's. Come on, he's on the way now.
All right, they know. They scan. They know that this is happening. TP into the outpost from Yuma. This is Aegis and a refresher. You gotta get into the Roche pit soon. Bloodborne is out, and goodbye, Roshan HP. All right, that is it. Aegis, refresher, all picked up on the backside. Just going to clear up some wards here, potentially, and disengage. They do not want to risk this.
Might have thought about trying to get a pick off on the way out, but they weren't able to get up there fast enough based on the Dragon Knight respawn time to get any kind of vision down, so it would be a very blind fight. They're going to play it safe and just plan to defend the high ground into this Aegis. Who ended up taking that refresher? Mars already has his. Okay, it's on the bat.
It's got to be bat, right? Yeah. He has an Aghanim Scepter now, too, so you have the double lasso, right?
Yeah, this is getting very tough to fight into. You have to hope you can Lincoln's block something.
I don't think it blocks. Like, that's the thing with it, is it will ignore Lincoln's on a secondary target, right?
I think
so if you lasso a non-Lincoln's hero or a non-Lotus hero, you will get the other one. Smoked up here, Tundra. Just need a single good pick-off here, and they might be able to close it out. Gunner is just short of his buyback as well. Yuma, speared back. They've got him. Gunner comes in, hits the Doom onto the MOUZ. That's a big one, but can you save this Dragon Knight? He's back. He's going to fight. 9 class falling low, but able to just skirt on the side of the fight. Thompson goes in. The lasso's doing work, but Thompson, is he going to live? Just barely, and now the reset from the Whitemon Shard, and Ramsey's got the refresher. The Doom expires. The second Arena Spear has found its mark. They take down 2. Gunner stuck as well. A huge win from Tundra here in this fight. Can they close it out, though? You're going to buy back on the Crystal Maiden. You don't have anything really left here from Nouns.
You're going to have to buy back on Dragon Knight, but you won't have your ultimate. It's about to be a dieback from Fly. He's got to be careful. You're going to have to fight versus Megas at this rate. I don't think they want to buy back on the Dragon Knight because they know they need his ultimate, but 1 minute of time is so long. Here's their Fortify. Not getting another.
I mean,
Hunter's
Copy
gonna play
can...
it safe.
Oh, the Hex out. That's it for the Crystal Maiden. She's super dead. Big Sonic Wave on the backside. Yuma does buy back. They take down Thompson. Lelis in so much trouble. He's just getting beat down, and the Shackle into the Abyssal Blade stuns. That is it. Tundra have done it. They're going to force themselves a game 3 most likely. Compy barely makes it back to the base, actually. And another arena comes out. They've caught Lelis. The team fight is so good from Tundra in this one as they turn their attention to the tier 4 towers. Insatiable Hunger comes out. A little bit of all chat interesting there, but Sonic Wave is out. Gunner gets lassoed up. The second lasso as well. The GGs come through.
Need to Sonic Wave them back into the fountain to have a chance there. A very good catch at the end. They were trying to have the Dragonite clear creeps, and they put the Lotus on him thinking that would protect him versus the Blink Hex, the Blink Lasso, which it does, but you forgot about the Blink Spear, and the Spear does not care about the Lotus, so maybe they were hoping he could press BKB fast enough in time, and he got caught off guard, but it pushed him out of the base, and by the time you could react, he'd already lost half his health. They did save him for a little bit, but then, oh, I got the refresher. Let's just do it again, guys. And then they killed him after that. So he never actually got to do any damage in that fight. He was just controlled up the entire time. And once you lose the dragon form, you lose quite a lot of damage. The ease of execution, too, from firing from afar. Once you're melee, it's really easy to double lasso. It was way too hard. A very good catch from Tundra to finally close that one out, because that was getting close.
Yeah, it really was. This is what they've done. This is really good stuff. I will say, it looked like this 9-class Wind Ranger is something you have to be a little bit worried about now, because he absolutely owned on this hero. Like, he just transitioned into a core right out of the gate. He's like, yeah, we have a Bat Rider mid who doesn't do a ton of like extra damage. Like, Thompson has decent scaling, but he's mostly just this pick-off hero. So he just goes for Maelstrom BKB Daedalus, like an absolutely wild support Wind Ranger build, but he's just wind running through the team with Whirlwind running and hoping he just gets as much damage out as possible, and it works. It was kind of sick.
Yeah, I don't know. It felt like Nouns was kind of coming back a little bit, but the ease of execution, the pickoffs between the Blink Hex Spear and then the Blink Lasso, it was just much easier for Tundra, who'd already taken some barracks. You got the ratting from the illusions, the spiders, right? It's such a vision advantage, the lane pressure advantage. It did feel like it was just easier for them to find the pickoffs, which good on Nouns for dragging that out and giving themselves a shot, because it was looking pretty bad for them. The fact that it was even close is pretty good valiant effort there, but they're gonna have to try a little bit harder in game number 3 if they want to qualify directly.
Yeah, like the mid Queen of Pain looked really good. It did actually do quite a bit of damage this game, but I have to wonder, you know, I was kind of worried about this carry Dragonite at the very beginning, right? Where it has these games where it either is super far ahead mostly because your other heroes on your team are owning, and then you kind of just snowball the game, or you're kind of just like a weaker version of some other carries, and it never really found its footing. It seemed like, you know.
Yeah, they did a good job of shutting down Gunner that game. I think they identified that he is pretty critical to the playmaking, whether he's buying auras or a blink. The supports are going to have a hard time doing it on their own. Queen of Pain actually went for the Atos first, which I think was a cool adaptation, but also just not as... Well, I won't say it's not as good, but you want more options. You also want the Doom to threaten that, right? It's like, oh, Queen of Pain's missing, just be careful. But if Doom is also a threat, then you're also worried about that. But they rotated on Doom several times to shut down his early game, and it meant that without the auras, you can't really team fight, and without a blink, you couldn't really make pickoffs. So now it's just floundered in the early game and had a really rough time. Now, Ramsey's got the MVP. He had a very strong Mars performance. Lane was going okay, but then very good rotations to make use of the level 6. Got all the right items. Maybe that Deso was unnecessary. I'm not fully sure. It did feel like that was around where they, maybe slipped up. I was like, maybe go back for that hex refresher real quick. But I think it was a play to win. Like, I think they thought they were going to be able to win, so we got the Deso to close it out. It wasn't just like a LMAO damage item,
Yeah, I think it was just a general very cool idea from him. So we'll see what ends up happening in Game 3. But before we go to Game 3, everyone, just a quick reminder, you can register with 1xBet and use the promo code UNIVERSE, UNVRS3. Grab yourself 100% welcome bonus deposit. There's a pin message in chat. You can take advantage of that while you still can. But we've got Game 3 coming up in just a minute. Everybody stay tuned for more after the break.
should know about the esports in your pocket.
Welcome back, everybody, here to the FISSURE Universe Episode 3. It is the final game of the evening here. MOUZ versus BetBoom. I'm sorry, MOUZ versus Tundra. We had a little BetBoom in my mind from earlier. But the winner of this will automatically advance. The loser will be facing BetBoom in the lower bracket decider match tomorrow. So a lot on the line here for these two teams. How are you feeling about this, Zach? What can we expect in the draft potentially?
I'm not fully sure, but game one, MOUZ was much better about the active plays, get things done right off the strong lanes. Total swap on game number 2. Tundra just turned it on. They're like, yeah, that was not how to play. This is how to play. And they were the ones getting everywhere, doing things. Ramsey's everywhere with that Mars, right? I think that's what you want. I think both teams prefer that play style, give space to your carry. And so whatever you end up picking, like that's what you want. The ideal matchups, the heroes that can all make these plays. I think that Nature's ban makes a lot of sense. If you're not first pick, he just rotates everywhere. He's got a global ult. It's just too strong to deal with. The Treant can then take towers as well. We saw the Broodmother be a huge problem for them. Shadow Demon already taken out. Maybe we'll see an Omni Knight. Tundra maybe thinking if they want it for themselves. Maybe they'll just go back for that Naga Siren.
They could. We're going to see a lot change in the draft, but before we do, make sure to go ahead and enter the giveaway by typing !1xgive in chat to find out more details there. I was going to say a lot has to change in this draft. It left both the Tinker and the Omni Knight as they get rid of Brood Morph. So there are... you could maybe ban one and pick the other on Tundra if you want to play the Tinker, and then you just ban out the Omni Knight. Yeah, I think that's what we're gonna see. Yeah, ban the Omni, take Tinker. That's exactly what it is.
Tundra's done it. They've qualified. Tinker's really good. Shadow Demon already out. Some of the global heroes like Nature's already out. So how do you want to deal with this? Yeah, Doom is available. They could go back for it. Gunnar had a rough time with it. I don't know if it shook his confidence in it. I believe in him if he wants to. I think you just need to enable it in a different way, right? It's not like Gunnar Doom is terrible, but they need to, I don't know, pick stronger lanes. It was a Broodmother, and then a Mars was rotating in on him, right? So it was not a fun time, but you got to do something to give yourself a better time. And you've already banned out the Brood, so. Okay, steal the Naga. That can actually also be cool because the Tinker wants to just spam spells. You can pop Song and
kind of isolate him and find him.
Yeah, because his cast ranges aren't that long. He is close to the fight. Or he's like hiding in trees trying to use March of the Machines. And if you see the March start, you can just immediately pop Song and try to catch him. It's a cool idea. Oh, fast bans. So the Doom and the Mirana taken out. 2 other popular heroes for Nouns, which the Naga support would have paired really well potentially with that carry Naga. Or even if that was a support duo, that would still be good, right? The Ensnare setting up the arrow, which you could actually run in, use the luge, and then the arrow would be like 7 seconds or something. So that could have been a really cool combo.
I'm really curious, where they can go with their bans here, because when you have this Tinker and you only have 1 ban left here before phase 2, makes it a little bit scary, right? Like Tinker is one of those heroes that's typically played in the 5 position and just kind of sustains your carry. It gives you so much farming speed as well. Like once the map starts opening up, like Tinker just accelerates incredibly fast. And without the Doom or the Mirana, there's no beat. I feel like what we're looking at, the bans from Tundra, like this is a full Nouns draft. Like those are all the heroes that they like picking together. And they actually just can't. So they're going to go ahead and take the Wind Ranger. That's a great answer to the Tinker, actually. And takes it away from Tundra.
Yeah, the blind's a little annoying, but if you're playing core Wind Ranger, you'll get a BKB at some point. Clockwork is available this time. That's another good hero at finding Tinker, because some of the purges have already been removed, so you can't let Tinker cast spells and you deal with those spells. You need to find the Tinker. And Naga, Wind Ranger, they can kind of do that. Clockwork could be another great addition.
Plus the Pango.
Nyx is a classic. Yeah, Pango's another one.
Go back for the Sand King. I feel like we might see a Clockwork and Pangolier again come out from Nouns in a little bit. Like, it gives them a lot of flexibility with the rest of, or like with the draft, because you don't really know exactly where they're all going. And if you aren't prepared for that, it could catch these Tundra heroes off guard.
5 seconds remaining.
A lot of flex. I don't know how much we're going to repeat that, but that does seem to be the patch right now. There's just so many heroes that can go in multiple places. They're going to grab themselves the Disruptor, which is not something we see too often anymore, but it's kind of good versus these heroes. Glimpse, very long range, so the song, you try to just like song TP out, you can still be glimpsed back. Got a good combo here with the Sand King. If he burrow strikes into your Static Storm, that's a deadly combo right there.
So now I just feel like there's going to be Tinker 4, right? Like, you'd never see a 4-position Disruptor, I think, ever, right? Like, this hero is almost always played in the 5 role. I am curious if he's going to go the Kinetic Fence, though. The Alchemist, this is interesting, because Nouns have played this as a 4 position as well. So they have played it for Lelis, but they also play it, of course, for Yuma. So I am curious to see what they want to do with it.
You can follow the Sand King, because the Sand King can't really stop you. You just drop Acid Spray in the Sandstorm, and yeah, you kind of threaten the Caustic Finale, Stinger, Burst on a melee hero. At the same time, as soon as you hit 6, you're like, okay, whatever, and I heal it all, back up instantly, right? So you just farm, and Sand King can't stop you. And if you try to do the Bloodstone build on Sand King, he's like, okay, that's just 10 extra minutes for me to farm. Great. Right? So it forces you into the blink, which, you know, it's not the end of the world, but you don't like to have to do that, especially because your kill combo is like, okay, I get the blink, I'm going to try to epi blink this guy. If he's ulted, though, I don't know if that's enough damage, right? He's just going to heal through it.
Oh, and they do get the Primal Beast. Okay. This is an interesting one against Disruptor, though, because he does have Glimpse. You can get, like, the Kinetic Fence as well to, like, basically hold the Primal Beast down without needing the cage. His Innate also makes it really hard for Primal Beast to actually kill Disruptor. It's super annoying.
That's true, yeah, the Repulsion. It's one of the cooler Innates. It's not, like, just inherently broken. Sometimes it doesn't feel like it means that much, but other times it's like, oh, that was kind of cool. It bought me, like, an extra second or two. I like it.
These are really good heroes at finding the Tinker as well, right? Like, you have multiple avenues now for doing that. The Primal Beast can flex, the Alchemist can flex. I mean, literally all 4 of these heroes, they can move to a variety of roles, which I think is what they kind of want
it's
at the moment.
All over the place. And Nouns has the last pick too, so you got to figure it out on Tundra. And I will say, I'm leaning towards Naga support, because that status resistance is going to be so value this game. Like, you have so many long stuns that are even longer once you hit them with the Deluge. Like Shackle Shot, Alk Stun, the Onslaught into Pulverize. I want to see it.
It's a good puck pick. So, I mean, now you know for sure what's going on. Like, there's no like illusion with the Tundra draft here. This is a mid puck and offlane Sand King, and you need a carry for pure. So Nouns will just ban out some of the heroes that they're maybe worried about. Tundra here, good luck figuring out where these heroes are going. You know, it's your guess is as good as mine. They're going to ban out a Shaker, I guess, to start things off.
Coil is pretty good this game, and you can dodge a lot of these stuns. You're probably going to need a blink on someone to try to catch that puck off guard. So one answer could be to just shut down puck in the lane. I think that's what that Earthshaker ban is. Maybe we'll see something like Sniper later on. Feels a little greedy, but at the same time, Tinker is a hero who, as you take the fight into Tinker's team, it's very difficult because of all the spells coming out. But Tinker trying to get to you is not really what he wants to do. He wants to be building auras. He's not really building the blinks anymore. So that's been kind of awkward. If you pick a really far backline hero like Sniper, then that's where Tinker can have a little bit of a tough time contributing.
Do you get rid of something like the Sven here? So you get rid of Ursa. I'm trying to think what other like high damage hero you'd be worried about. Because if you are going to run the core Alchemist,
5 seconds remaining.
You need something that can burst him.
And the fact that they're banning it out suggests that they do want to run the core alchemist. But maybe it's all a 5D bait.
Man, you remember the simpler times in Dota when you like saw the heroes and you're like, I know where they're going.
Because they only had one role.
Yeah. Yeah. Here we are.
It makes the draft a lot more fun.
It does.
Chaos
It makes the draft
Knight.
way more interesting.
Chaos
Chaos Knight's
another
the other
hero
good
can
one.
burst you down.
Yeah, I like that a lot. As opposed to something like the Sven. I think Chaos Knight would have been really good.
Though again, like you said, could always just swap him over to support. Focus him too much, and then you just run carry Wind Ranger. Maybe it's still a carry Naga.
I don't feel like we're seeing carry Nagas as much anymore. The
I don't
Monkey
think
King
so
ban
either.
makes a lot of sense actually, because you could have moved the Alk and ran a carry Monkey King here, and then that answers a lot of your issues. I feel like you're fine running the Alk into the Sand King lane. Like at this point, we know this is a Sand King off lane, right? So should be a fairly free lane for the Alk here.
5 seconds remaining.
It's Tundra. They have a few seconds of reserve time here, but they've got to figure out what they want for Pure. I mean, there's always things like Troll Warlord, but it doesn't seem like it's that good of a troll game.
Now's turn to
That's a classic Tundra hero, actually. This is super cool. Very difficult to kill until Primal gets an Aghanim Scepter, and then definitely not that difficult to kill.
Yeah.
I'm wondering what they want to do with that.
He is a very high damage physical hero. That tends to be Alchemist's weakness, is that he has the high regen, but he's a strength hero, so not a lot of natural armor. You've got to build into it. And it's actually pretty solid versus Wind Ranger too, because Quills can't miss.
Yeah.
So you build the Ags and all that, and you just shoot it at Wind Ranger. I wonder if he's going to take that new facet, Seeing Red.
choose your hero.
A Pudge! Oh my, I got totally...
Dude,
5D
is this Pudge
chess
mid?
move, man. I did not see it coming.
I feel like they're going to put Pudge mid into Thompson. Yeah, Fly's taking the Naga Siren. Lelis on the Wind Ranger. It's got to be Alchemist safe lane. Oh, Coffee's taking the Pudge mid. Okay. I mean, it should be a good lane. Like, Puck does not have a lot of damage, and he's on the Radiant side, so he can just hook his hard camp over and over. Like, Coffee should farm. And there's not a lot that you have to actually kill the Pudge as the game goes on. Once he gets tanky enough, he can just dismember the Bristleback, and there's nothing else that you can do. It's an interesting pick.
There's a window where Pure has a good lane,
Yeah.
has a bunch of stacks, and hits a really fast, like Aghanim's Bloodstone BKB, something like that. And then I don't think you can deal with it. Like, you can't let this Bristle pop off. I think that's one of the ways Tundra can win this game.
Double checking the facets, make sure no one accidentally selected the wrong one, you know? But I think
Wait.
this is going to be a super fun game. This is going to be a super fun game. Talking about kinetic fence.
Kinetic fence?
I think it's better against
Is
the
it
Primal.
real?
I think it is. Because the weird thing about it is when you're just within range of it, you essentially are like slowed to a crawl. So when he goes for the trample, you can just drop the kinetic fence and walk on it as the disruptor, and the Primal Beast can't hit you.
Does make your static storm a lot worse.
Yeah, it does.
But
we'll
I
see what
guess
happens.
a big way you're using Static Storm is to stop, dismember, and pulverize, and those stand still when it happens.
True.
Maybe it's fine.
It's going to be a fun game 3, man. A very creative draft from both of these teams. We finally see a Tinker make it through, but a 24-pick Pudge. We'll see if it's enough from Nouns as we are getting ready to jump into this one. Do you have a favorite on the draft, Zach?
If the Bristleback crushes his lane, I think Tundra can do it. Otherwise, how can you root against Pudge? He's
I mean,
Dota's favorite
ever.
hero.
All right, here we go, everybody. It is game 3, Nouns versus Tundra. As we take a look at the facets, again, we were mentioning the kinetic fence. It's the Snot Rocket for the Bristleback instead of the Seeing Red. Now, we were a little bit unsure of which one he would do. Snot Rocket is definitely better for the early game, right? It gives you a ton of potential minus armor to play around, and it's really good slow and control in the fights. So it'll be interesting.
Yeah, I think that's the big thing too. It's the negative armor that you're going to be applying.
The battle begins.
Ooh, hook on the punch.
That's a lot of damage on a Thompson. Okay. Repair bots come out. Get in, boys. Time to heal up.
Heal them up. I mean, so this is the thing about repair bots. Like, at first glance, it's like, oh, a 4-second heal, that's not that great. But it refreshes every machine. And then although the machines only spawn for 6 seconds, it's then about like a 4-second travel time. So if you like move with the machines, it ends up being like 10 to 14 seconds of heal. So like that's where the actual value is. Yeah, Thompson ends up being full health because of it.
I am really curious as to how this Disruptor Bristleback lane is going to play out. You know, Wind Ranger is such a strong hero that typically I look at her and I'm like, yeah, she should win the trading, right? But Disruptor...
Bottom lane.
Oh, that bottom lane. 9 class falling quite low, but so is Yuma. Fly will get the first blood as Yuma likely to tick down here to Ramses. Yeah, one more auto attack. He gets the kill. I mean, you're pretty happy about that if you're Tundra.
At the same time, I think he spent some of his money, and you got the first blood, so maybe it's not too bad. He's not missing very many creeps either.
Yeah, Fly's holding the wave.
Brings a salve for his buddy as well.
Ooh, that's a lot of damage on the Fly here. You need to be kind of careful. Yeah, they're just going to shove this wave constantly, it looks like, with repair bot spam and the Sand King. I wasn't quite sure how I was going to feel about a 4-position Tinker, but it seems to be working quite all right.
You just have to not be afraid of shoving. In pubs, that's hard, but at the pro level, right, they know how to play around this. So it's fine. You just spam it out, win the War of Regen, which Alchemist at level 6, endless regen. Prior to that, though, it's annoying. It's very annoying to take all this damage. So you just need to get to 6 as quickly as you can.
Oh, yoinks the enemy hard camp. Why not?
It's one of the ways pucks get back into it if they have a bad lane. You just stack a lot and then farm both, hitting 2 camps with your spells.
Just walks by, takes the other water rune. He's like, yeah, I'm going to do this. Thompson's going to have... He's going to heal off of the tower hit. Cheeky play we've been seeing every once in a while, right?
Yeah, it's a cool trick. If you guys aren't using this and you like playing puck, make sure you're doing that. Kinetic Fence!
Gunner actually might just be dead. He is. That is such a sick pickoff. And now Prayer needs to kind of respect this Wind Ranger's damage. There is a Lotus coming. And Lelis, he wants to play for this. He's going to get the Courier. Keep them both a little bit low here. But built up a ton of Quill stacks there. Bringing down that Primal Beast is not easy. I think if Gunner has level 3, it's very different, you know? Because once you have Onslaught, it is, maybe he gets a kill instead of trying to run away.
That's true. Though this is where Kinetic Fence is going to be very annoying. We got 2 charges.
He just keeps walking up and taking the tower shots. Because it's a double heal is the thing, right?
Yeah.
It's 40 health and mana plus 4% max health and mana.
And Phase Shift is free. It's literally free real estate, guys. As long as you don't feed because the enemy stuns you or something. And so, as long as you know the enemy mid's gone, you should.
That's a really good fort. Bottom lane, Yuma continuing to get pressured. Fly's Courier is going to go down there. There's a lot of stacks there. With how much they've been shoving this lane, it's kind of scary.
That's a long
Dude, that
stun
stun
with
lasts,
Deluge.
it lasts super long. As I say, with how much they've been shoving the wave, I feel like the tanker Sand King might be the ones that just go back there and try and take it.
Yeah, you have to be really careful of that. It is dangerous to try to do that this early, though, and there could be a rotation. That's kind of what's dissuading Tundra for now. But we'll see. You know, maybe if you pick up a kill on the Alchemist or something, you'd run in there. Okay, they don't want to risk that. They're going to just start clearing out that stack now.
Okay, makes sense.
Yeah, the pressure's been successful, though. They've had to buy a lot of regen down here to get through this laning stage.
That's so insane. Who needs bottle, dude? Oh my lord. I mean, he has one, of course, but he's healed like hundreds of health and mana off of that.
Yeah, this was the buff to Puckish, the innate ability. It's the flat. It used to just be like 2% max health, max mana per dodge, but now it is 20 plus the 2%. 20 flat, 2% of the max. And it's 4 times the amount if there's a targeted projectile spell, which doesn't matter in this mid lane, but can matter in others. Yuma getting kind of low. They did just clear out the stacks, though, so those are safe.
This Dust Devil, a little bit annoying for him to chase through, so it doesn't want to risk it. He is going to take a decent chunk of damage. Dude, that ensnare lasts so long. Meanwhile, Copy gets to dismember, but there is the pushback from Whitemon, so goes for the glimpse. Thompson's here as well. They might have the damage to bring down the Pudge, and they do. A massive find in top lane. Gunnar almost gets Pure, but it's not enough. There's a regen in mid lane as well for them to fully reset.
Thought he didn't have enough regen with Puck. That's a really good rune. Helping him to recover the game because Puck was having a hard time into the Pudge like we talked about. But with that kill, he's actually just caught up and passed the Pudge. Pure gets found by Lelis, tries to TP out, and then just gets power shot to death.
Nice find. All right, Compy smoked up, looking for this Puck. Thompson actually doesn't have a lot of health in the moment. Big max range hook. The Dismember is going to stop the jaunt, but... oh, it doesn't! He actually gets it off into the regen as well, so Thompson's going to get a full reset here. Yeah, that's huge.
He gets a courier for his troubles.
Bottom lane, Yuma hits level 6. Ramsey's went for another play here. He's under this ward. Blood Grenade comes out. Power shot off the mark. A good dodge, but you're going to go ahead and channel the concoction. Shackle connects, and they get him. Like you mentioned, once you get level 6 on the Alchemist, he takes a lot less threat from the Sand King.
And Fly's actually just trying to steal stacks that 9 class has made. He's got 3 points in Deluge, so 200 damage every 8 seconds. Actually one of the good stack stealing supports nowadays.
Yeah.
Which is big because we were talking about the timing of the Bristleback. He wants these stacks. If not him, then Sand King, then Puck. Everyone wants these stacks. And if a position 5 is stealing them, you know, that's not going to feel very good. So much so that he's just going to kill him with Coil in the mid lane.
Yeah.
No more of that, Fly.
Fighting for that power rune. Compy should be able to just hook it here. And he does. 9 class, a good attempt. Tried to like intercept the hook to steal the rune. We'll go to the Pudge. It's a very even game so far, 4-5, but Tundra pretty happy considering there's an Alchemist in this game to not be really too far behind at all. And the mid lane of this Puck, I mean, he's owning.
Puck's doing well, but I'm still worried because Bristle is the one struggling on the side of Tundra, which means all your damage on Tundra right now is magic damage. Ooh. And if Gunnar or Pudge ends up building a pipe, and it looks like Gunnar's got it queued up, right? You stand behind the Alch, pipe him. I don't know how you kill him if Bristleback's having a bad game.
Nine class just stacking as much as they can. They do see this, though. They have a ward up there, and Fly will start rotating in. They're not really sure.
He's doing a great job scouting stacks and stealing them.
Yeah. Well, they will find him, and yep, that's a nice ensnare. The Pulverize available if he needs it. Just trying to finish job with the trample, but we'll drop the Pulverize. It's enough to get the kill. And now with Pure's rotation and slowed up by the Uproar, Focus Fire comes out from Lelis. That's going to send Thompson all the way back. As the Alchemist will self-stun himself, but it's okay.
Think how many projectiles you can dodge in one phase shift with Puck when you're focus fired, though. Literally gaining health. I don't think you actually are. Maybe versus support Wind Ranger you are. Great kill, though. Steal the stacks and kill the Tinker. Keeping him low. And if you can start taking tier 1 towers before Tinker comes online, your teleports are really restricted as Tinker. Like, level 1, it has to go to structures. So if you've lost a lot of your tier 1s, it becomes very difficult to show up to any kind of fight and still have map efficiency. If the tier 1s are up, it's much easier. So we'll see if Nouns can punish that. And in the meantime, make sure you guys are signing up. Make use of that deposit bonus, 100% of whatever you deposit there. There is more information in the panels below.
Copy, looking for his hook here in the mid lane.
Middle tower is under attack.
I mean, he might be able to get the puck. Ooh, not quite. Meanwhile, bottom lane, Ramses has been doing a really good job at recovering as well. Like, he cleaned up some pretty massive stacks in the triangle. He is not really that far behind the Alchemist at all. So you gotta be pretty happy. I'm curious what he's gonna build. Is it just a Blink Dagger, or is he going like Guardian Greaves? Or Pipe, maybe he's going Pipe. I don't know, let me see here. He's gonna go Pipe on the Sand King.
Tower is under attack.
Oh yeah, Sand King.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
I think it's necessary because the Radiance is a decent timing on the Alchemist, so Pipe will help shut that down. But it also helps prevent a lot of Pudge and Primal Beast's damage.
Nine Class just staying here, making sure he's topped off as the 12-minute power rune is coming soon. Hook almost finds him, but not today. Dismember not going to last all that long thanks to the barrier. And another rune spawning bottom. This is about the second or third time we've seen them bring multiple heroes into the mid lane, and the rune spawns on the opposite side. So Nouns really struggling to find an opening here.
Oh, wait! Topton may have messed up.
Oh, nice Static Storm. He's got the rot going. Song of the Siren from Fly into the onslaught. This should be more than enough damage.
Oh,
Can they finish it? They mistime it. Thompson is out completely, and Gunner, he gets
no!
How does this happen?
A disaster.
Gunner is also not in a good spot here.
Okay, he's out. He's out. 4-hero rotation, which you get nothing, and that looked like a triple kill. I thought you would finish the Puck and then just kill the supports with a Pulverize, but they mistime it. They hook the Primal Beast back. Everyone gets one slip up. That was it right there.
We'll see what ends up. I mean, technically Alchemist was farming, but the thing is like Tundra was in 2 other lanes farming as well. So your Alchemist is not making up. Ooh, they finally get him. Is that a Blink reveal or something? It was. Okay, so Copy has Blink.
Yeah, I think they just found him because he had the Blink a little earlier.
Okay. Ward's Sentry bottom does scout them. They think they're safe under their own vision, but Nouns see this completely.
Oh, they see the smoke. Smoke broken by Pudge. Thinking about the hook. Doesn't really want the Sand King, though, when he knows Disruptor's in the area. Unless Disruptor's further away. Just kidding. Okay, we missed.
Yuma has Blink now as well. I mean, you gotta fight with this, right? Surely. They're still smoked up here on Tundra, looking for a rotation. Trying to find anything. Copy gets the Blink away, so Glimpse probably not gonna find him. Yuma gets the Blink away. Just barely escaping as Lelis will grab the D ward bottom. But now he's in trouble, I think. The rest of the heroes are coming. Oh no, the smoke expired. He knows. He should TP out.
TP out.
Okay, those are good moves from Nouns. They actually just dodged out a pretty big smoke gank. This is the Ag's pickup foe for the Bristleback, and Pure will be very strong with this. If they manage to get like a single stun initiation or a coil into the Aghanim Scepter, it is so much damage.
I think Gunner's trying to finish up his pipe before they start doing too much. The Pudge and the Primal Beast have really dropped off. Just not finding as many kills as maybe they were hoping to with this Blink Pudge. Alchemist is farming well, though. So it's going to be a lot of just setting up the Alchemist to do the damage. And that's going to be tough into the Static Storms and the Burrow Strikes and the Silences.
You're farming well on your supports, which is nice, but Tinker will absolutely pass you once he gets to level 12. Like, there is no stopping the Tinker's late game farming, right? Like, if this comes out to a farm fest, I feel like Tundra are going to be very happy.
I agree. Although, maybe this is the nice thing about Wind Ranger just going straight Maelstrom. If he finds the Tinker in a fight, right, you can just distract the Tinker, focus fire him, and he's got to focus on keeping himself alive rather than rearm saving his team.
Gunner is going to go for a very early Aghanim Scepter here, recognizing the threat of that Bristleback. Thompson bottom lane here, maybe thinking of going for the coil. They do have numbers. He gets the silence. The Witchblade damage is a lot, and the follow-up stun from Ramses. They get him. Nice kill.
Pudge BKB will be very good. Even with a pipe, I think BKB on Gunner will also be pretty big, but I understand why he wants the Aghanims first. So it's going to take a while to get there.
Yeah, you're not farming on Pudge right now. Like, he hasn't been farming really at all this game.
Yeah, it's not great. Well, I mean, so much priority has gone to the Alchemist, right? And so then they tried to find kills, but those haven't quite connected either.
I mean, maybe you fight with his BKB on Yuma, like the Blink BKB.
Yeah, at some point, Alk is going to have to give back to his team and start joining in. But he's not that far ahead of
the scan got him.
Sand King.
This is a massive kill if they find this Alchemist, and I think they will in time. The camp is just barely surviving. Smoke comes through, blink up onto the high ground, and Yuma is dead. Over 900 gold going their way. Ooh, that is not what you wanted. Copy. He actually might be dead here as well. Tinker is just gonna chase him as the rest of the team's coming through, and this Pudge is finding nothing this game at all. Fly on the backside, gonna get caught by Pure. Bristleback active in just a couple of seconds if he wants to try and chase this Naga Siren, which he absolutely will. Very easy kill. Suddenly the gold advantage for Tundra, just 18 minutes in despite the Alchemist, and this is not a good spot for Nouns. You are falling behind and really fast.
Feels like things have been falling apart ever since that mid gank that went disastrously. Alchemist is not significantly ahead.
I mean, the fact that Ramses has been borderline neck and neck with Alchemist since the lane stage is not a good thing. And maybe this is just Tinker being too strong, you know?
Yeah, Tinker helps Dust Devil. We've seen a lot of Sand Kings with Dust Devil. Like, if you have a good lane, your farming speed's crazy. Like that, I think that's now the current strength of Dust Devil. If you want to farm, Dust Devil's your friend. More than like the old Aghanims, like bouncy house going everywhere. Okay, BKB is a few hundred away for the Alchemist.
They actually find the Bristleback. In comes the puck, though. They do manage to get the kill. Static Storm comes out. Naga Siren trying to escape, but Ramses will snipe on the backside, but he's in. 1v4. Focus Fire is out. The Pulverize is still available, but he's still living. finally managed to
that
finish
doesn't
the
maelstrom.
job. As they will look for more. Gunner is in, gonna pop the trample, look for 9 class. Yuma nearby with the blink stun out as well. Copy off the mark with the hook, but they get him. Finally, some momentum here for now as the Alchemist will join his team.
Huge fight for them. Taking out the Bristleback instantly before he gets to do anything. He actually even has the BKB, unless he picked it up while dead.
I think it was while I was dead, yeah.
Okay. So that shouldn't happen again. Though you do have 2 BKB piercing abilities. But this is where I go back to like Alchemist not being quite ahead enough. I don't know if you can kill him in that time.
Yeah, we will have to see. Real quick, though, just a reminder to everyone who's watching, make sure to follow Fissure here on Twitch and YouTube. We really have to say a big thank you to them for putting together the FISSURE Universe Ep.3 tournament. It's been a lot of fun. Let's go ahead and show them some love. We've got Sanj and Yasha, the next item for the Bristleback. This is pretty standard, I think. Great hook there from Compy, but he's going to just jaunt away. Does not manage to get the Dismember in time. He really loves that high ground spot. Thompson just chuckling. He's like, guys, he's still here. He's still doing it.
Yeah, he's going to go ahead and remove that ward because of that. Your Tinker's almost level 12 now. Makes it much easier for him to join fights everywhere. See if you can get a good shard. To fly. That's a pretty solid one.
Yeah, Sonic the Siren reset is nice. I mean, they all have pretty good shards, right? Gale Force is really strong as well to help maybe prevent the Tinker from just sitting in the backside channeling spells, right?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe pulls him into a rough spot. Bottom tier 2
really
taking
rich.
a lot of damage. Yeah, he just knows they need another core, right? Like, your Pudge can tank up, but he is so far behind. He's not like this tanky, unkillable hero that you need him to be.
Might help them make the difference, unless you run into Puck and get killed instantly.
Yeah, Burrow Strike there. Compy actually finds Thompson on the backside. The BKB out from Yuma. Is it enough? He gets the jaunt out, and Pure just rips through them with the Bristleback. Thompson lived on, like, 5 HP. This is a full lane of barracks.
I think so.
Maybe 2, actually.
No buyback. 22 minutes in. You got Tinker to just heal everyone up. You'll just tank the tower through all of this.
There's no way they back away, right?
Cut, I think. So,
oh, yeah.
Maybe backdoor will keep them alive.
They're chasing Gunner, actually.
Dire are scanning.
I mean, Bristleback surely has enough damage to kill the lane of barracks there. Gunner just going to go through the portal, but they're not canceling the channel just yet. They will. He's going to try one more time. Second time's the charm. Onslaught's away. This is hilarious. If he actually gets out. He just bought his team so much time there.
I was looking like it could have been a full set of racks, so good on the creep cut, good on distracting the enemy team. They are going to come run in for Roche, though, which doesn't really feel like you can contest. And now you're going to have I assume a Bristleback with the Roche on, just whacking away at your towers, and you're going to need an answer to that. How are we on that Aghanim's for the Primal Beast? He just bought it out. All right, maybe that could be your surprise answer.
You need a lot more than that now, I think, is the problem. You need like an Orchid or something out of your Alchemist to try and deal with this Tinker. Or maybe Lelis builds one, I'm not really sure. They actually get him on the Gleipnir. The trample comes through, the TPs are coming in. Lelis is like, I'll do my best. Oh, great Shackle. Pulverize onto the Sand King, but they're just not taking damage at all. A full reset of health here for the Tinker. As Lelis likely to fall on the backside. The Song of the Siren from Fly will try to buy them some time as Lelis continues to wind run away. Gunner gonna try and TP. He makes it. Tinker's healing is ridiculous.
Yeah, I still need some nerfs. I love Tinker, don't get me wrong. I've been having a blast playing it, but we gotta nerf that hero. It is not okay. When you have a Tinker, you don't mind. Like, that was a pretty big rotation to your own tier 2. You only get the Wind Ranger. So sometimes you could say, like, oh, that doesn't feel like very good. It's not map efficient. But Tinker's already, like, everywhere else, you know? So it's really not that big of a deal. If this hero picks up farm, it's really good for your team because he just builds auras.
Oh, the hook! He actually got him, but they don't have detection. Oh, the reactive barrier gonna make the Dismember not do a whole lot. Gunner gets warp flared away. He's gonna go ahead and pop the Pulverize. With the Axe, it's doing a lot of work, but nobody's dead. 9 class will still survive. The hook, though, and connects onto Yuma. Oh, it's such a rough one here, but he's gonna get the BKB off the brakes onto the Bristleback as Yuma now looking for the Disruptor on the tail end of this BKB, trying to finish the job. Whitemon will glimpse him away, and he's gonna live. Gunner's dead as well. Whitemon finally dies, but now Yuma's ult has expired, and he is 1v3 versus the Tricore of Tundra. He's not getting out of this one.
It's tough. Okay, you got the Aegis. Because once the break came out, you do see that it's much easier to kill the Bristleback, but the problem there was, like, you kill him once, he comes back, oh, we don't have a break again. Next time will be easier. Next time, you're also going to have to fight with the lane down because your Alchemist is dead. 50 seconds. Oh, he's just moving straight over. He's going to cut the wave, make sure that lane pushes in. They can get that top tier 2 if they want. Really good call to run over.
Thompson was missing health a moment ago, but something you will notice is that he has full HP and mana now.
It's not just Tinker. He's also tanking 2 towers now.
Yeah, he's double tanking the tower for the innate. Yeah.
All right, Tundra setting themselves up for success. It's looking pretty good from here.
He's got to run. Lelis needs to be careful. He's going to Glimmer Cape TP. Okay. Oh, no, he did not. Who Glimmer Cape? I don't know who that was, but he gets out. So, earlier in the game, we were talking about how farmed the Nouns supports were. This is exactly what we mentioned. Like, as this game goes on, Tinker just by far surpasses your supports. It doesn't even become, like, remotely close. He's going to eventually pass your cores in net worth. It's one of the things that makes Tinker typically like one of these almost must-ban heroes. A lot of teams feel like they cannot play into it. You are 7k behind with an Alchemist. It's not looking good here for Nouns.
Bristleback just picked up the level 20 extra quill stack damage too, so even more damage coming out in that combo. Got an AC. They're picking up armor, neutrals. I just don't know if that's going to be enough. Lelis's next damage item. He's really got to scale. He's going to go for a BKB. Maybe when everyone has BKBs. Okay, Blink Dismember onto Puck. Is there any follow-up?
Nope.
No one was close enough. Blind Hook? Would have been sick.
Like, eventually you have like a BKB Dismember, which is kind of big. But you have to follow it up with the BK, or like with, I don't know, the Pulverize, Trample, like Uproar of the Primal Beast, you know? Like, there's got to be damage to follow it up. Smoke up from Nouns here. They are desperate for a kill.
Fortunately, they're not finding anyone. There's no one down here. Okay, they might think the Tormentor just got finished. Classic for Bristleback to solo it. So they're moving in here, expecting him to come in here to farm, but Pure suspects this. Tundra is very suspicious of this. He turned around. He's not going to his own triangle.
And they can't make it through the towers, really. So we'll get themselves a quick D ward and be like, all right, well, Smoke's, you know, unsuccessful. I mean, mid lane's pushing in. No one's responding. They know Nouns are smoking onto the map, trying to find something. So really good heads-up awareness from Tundra, just to not fall victim to that. Sand King finishes up, I believe, a Bloodstone. Did he? What did he finish? Yeah, Bloodstone's done. Ramses is tanky. I mean, they have a good ward here. The question is, can you actually kill anyone? No, there's the D ward. Never mind. Hook. Oh, they actually find him. BKB out right away, though. There's going to be a lot of damage coming out from Pure. Can you actually kill him? The Song of the Siren onto the backside, but he just walks away under the BKB. No one is dying. The break is not there from Gunnar, and now the Glimpse. They pull him back up onto the high ground. Now they have the break. The stun out from Yuma, but can they kill this Bristleback? They just cannot. There is too much damage from Tundra. Yuma's going to go down. Wind Ranger goes down, and Gunnar's going to be next. Tinker is overwhelming in this game.
Just healing from the back line. They hook the Bristleback far away from his team, but just no damage coming in. They tried to pop their BKBs to finish it. Can't do it. The BKBs end. All the magic damage comes in. The Burrow Strike, Epicenter, Puck Coil, everything comes in.
This might be your last chance today, everyone. As a quick reminder, try and enter that giveaway by typing !1xgive in chat. Find out more details there as Tundra turning their attention to the bottom lane in the tier 4s. There's not much left for Nouns. You are 18,000 gold behind. This last pick Bristle looks incredible here.
Do you think it's more of a Bristle problem, a Tinker problem, or something else?
I think it is a combination of things. I think you last picked this Pudge to shut down Puck. It doesn't happen. Thompson just...
It's one of
his best heroes, yeah.
Yeah.
He did so much on that Puck. I don't know. I think part of it is also Tinker. Like, you have heroes like Wind Ranger and Primal Beast who are, like, decent at trying to find it, but... this Bristleback is unkillable. So is the Ramsey Sand King. Like, both these heroes are way more farmed than they should be, and you have no way to actually get to the Tinker anymore.
Yeah, I felt like Bristleback was struggling. I thought Nouns would have put themselves in a good spot, but I think slipping up on some early fights, Ramsey's having an insane farming speed. Now they're just waiting for the next Roche to close this one out safely. You might not need to, but also you feel pretty bad to lose at this point.
Yeah. And we've seen Nouns like come back from kind of wild situations with like really good team fight, but this is one where the Alchemist team is this far behind, and I just don't see the avenue to get back into this. Like, you just don't have the items.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Gunnar needs a BKB and a Shiva's right now. Like, that's how much net worth you need to have on this Primal Beast to start having the impact that like a Sand King or the is gonna have.
I think, I don't know, you like start hooking people into your fountain. Is that your final option here?
Maybe. I don't even know if it matters. You know, like...
I've seen many a Bristleback enter the fountain and kill you. That's true. Okay, don't hook the Bristleback, but maybe the other heroes?
They're also building the Shivas on copy.
They have Nullifier on Alchemist, so that'll help remove the defense matrices.
That's good.
Pretty big.
They definitely needed that this game. This long Roche is making Tundra get a little bit annoyed here. It will spawn still on the day cycle, so they know it's coming soon.
A little bit of extra space for Nouns, but it doesn't... I mean, is there an item that's close to finishing? Yuma's actually working on an Ags. I wonder who he's going to give it to. The Pudge? Heal reduction? Or is it just regen reduction? Just regen reduction.
Yeah.
Oh, what if you give it to Gunnar so he can buy a BKB?
I was just thinking the same thing. I was like, he actually needs a whole nother item. Technically, that is a way to do it. You give it to your Primal Beast. He keeps the bonuses of his Aghanim Scepter, but just gets donated 4,200 gold, and then suddenly has a BKB. Like, that could work. Kind of
cool. Might catch them off guard, too.
All right, there's the Ags. You know, he just gives it to the Pudge. All right. So, more rot damage. I mean, that means no nullifier for the Alk, right? Like, oh no, he has a nullifier. He disassembled the Radiance. Okay.
Dire are scanning.
Does Tinker's heal count as regen reduction, I guess?
It is just regen, yeah.
It does, right? Okay,
Yeah.
so maybe reducing that.
It's not a ton, though, isn't it? It's only like 30%? 20%,
The,
okay.
the rot
Yeah.
or the heal?
The rot.
20%, yeah.
Not that great.
It's a lot, though, when you consider that you've got a lot of damage reduction on someone like Bristleback. It's a lot of effective HP that
That's
you're
true.
preventing.
All right. Almost
I
4
like
minutes.
our BKB on Primal Beast idea a little more, though, I think.
Yeah. I mean, you gotta get your Pudge back into this game somehow too, right? Like the problem is you are so far behind on your other 2 cores. Like meanwhile, Thompson's level 21 with a Mjolnir Aghanim Scepter, right? Like if he coils, like the Naga Siren, for instance, like she might just die in the coil. Gunner gonna get caught immediately. The hook out from Compy, quite nice to try and save him, but the immediate glimpse back, and now the Song of the Siren out from Fly. That will reset enough for him to TP and actually find the Disruptor on the backside. Great wraparound from Nouns, but can you get more? Compy's in here on the Pudge, forced to BKB and disengage. Yuma might need some help. Does have
Tinker's
a blink
low
in a
on
moment.
mana.
Oh, that hook
that
almost got him.
Oh,
Okay,
that
I mean,
hook might
that's a
have been
good
it.
fight, but you gotta do this like 3 or 4 more times.
Yeah. Because at this point, Tinker's gone home. He's coming back. He's about to heal everyone up. Everyone's pretty much full health anyways. You're just waiting for Disruptor, who will TP to the outpost, and then they'll just start up again. You need a hook kill in that time before the Disruptor can get here.
Oh, there he is. You got the hook. The Dismember's coming out. Gunner, he doesn't get an uproar stack.
Killing everyone.
He's just surviving everything. Oh,
Find the
no.
Tinker.
And Yuma doing
They don't
his
find the
best.
Tinker.
No, he does not. Lelis is doing what he can, but there's just way too much damage. That might be it. Gunner rooted. And GG's come out. Tundra with the win. Ramses with some kind of toxic alt chat this game. Yeah, and last game.
I don't know what their history is.
I don't either. But yeah,
All
really
right,
well
well
played
done.
from Tundra.
Yeah, well done by them. Well played with the Tinker lineup, right? I mean, he was very efficient, very lots of heals. I want to check the net worth graph real quick because I feel like it was going okay for now, and it just suddenly. I feel like I really thought we would see more hooks off the ensnare and like shackle shots, and it just never happened. I think maybe a little bit of a slip up to focus too much on Thompson maybe with the puck, because I remember seeing a lot of hooks flying towards the puck, and that's just such a hard one to get. The support's, maybe a lot easier, so maybe you got to leave the mid lane, go rotate over to the side, get something going there. But yeah, it feels like the Pudge pick just ended up not quite being what they wanted. I saw it. I saw the idea, so I don't think it was like a terrible pick, but just the execution of it didn't quite connect. And then it was the Bristleback, the hard counter to the Alchemist, which we said if he has a good enough game, like he'll kill the Alchemist, and that's exactly what we saw at the end there. They try to jump the Bristleback, and he kills your team. I mean, that's something we can all relate to in our pubs, I'm sure.
Is there a break on on the Tundra hero somewhere? Because I actually am trying to think about it. Because like Gunner went in, popped the uproar, but I didn't see any Aghanim Scepter projectiles coming out, and maybe he just had no stacks at the time. But
I think you need the stacks, right? Because you have to cast uproar.
Yeah. So it was just a really good play there. Like you get the hook, but the lack of follow-up damage is just not there. And like I said, you need a BKB and like the Shivas on this Primal Beast to really start doing damage. And you can kind of see in that engagement, right? Like he just dies. Like he can't go anywhere.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well done by Tundra. That was a pretty close series. That last game, maybe a little less so. But game 1 went to Nows in a very convincing fashion. Game 2, looked pretty Tundra favored for most of it, but Nouns was fighting back. They made him work for it. Tundra, though, by game 3, seems to have started to figure out Nouns, and pretty convincing win here at the end. Now I can see that stat line, just how much damage coming out from this puck, which we thought was going to be countered by the Pudge. That did not come into play whatsoever.
Yeah, part of me wonders, like, right, if you have this 24 pick for the mid lane, I think you kind of want to pick something that better counters the puck in general, right? But I see the idea. It should theoretically survive the lane fairly easily, and then you transition into this super tanky hero that is difficult for them to kill. But MVP goes to Ramses. It makes sense, dude. This whole series, he actually played incredibly well. His Mars previously, and now his Sand King this time, like, contributed to so many kills this game.
Yeah, lots of great catches in that game 2. Game 3 here, just insanely farmed. Less catches, but more just where he needed to be a lot of the time. Had the right itemization to deal with the early magic damage from Nouns, and then very patient on going in when the BKBs would come out. You know, it's not a wasted epicenter burrow strike. He's waiting for that to end before going in. Just very effective play this series.
Yeah, absolutely. Very excited to see what tomorrow is going to hold, though, right? Because we've got some two more series left in this group stage. You know, we'll see which of the last 4 teams are going to qualify. 2 have made it through now. Of course, Team Spirit earlier today, and now Tundra will be the team from Group A to qualify first. So, still lots of Dota to be played, and then we have the playoffs after that. So it is a, you know, like we said, a condensed tournament, but still action-packed with some really fun stuff.
Yeah, so Tundra first to qualify here. Tomorrow, Nouns versus BetBoom. What do you think?
That one's going to be very close, I think.
Yeah, when Nouns has been looking good, I would say they could beat what we've seen from BetBoom, but we've seen that there have been some shaky performances. It's not always consistent.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and in Group B, of course, Team Spirit qualified first, so it will be Falcons versus Cloud9 in that lower bracket, fighting for that last spot, which should also be a really exciting series. You guys will definitely not want to miss these, as it will actually, I think tomorrow might start at a different time. I'll have to double check, but either way,
it's a little shorter tomorrow.
Yeah,
we have
it's a little bit of a shorter
tomorrow. Yeah, here you go.
Yeah.
So make sure you're following the channel. You get the notifications if you don't remember the time. These are going to be some fun series. Team Falcons versus Cloud9, Nouns, and BetBoom. Maybe some surprising series at the same time. Not so surprising because these are all such great teams, but Nouns has been performing pretty well to get to this point.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been an absolutely fun day, everybody, but we are going to close things up. So we just want to say a big thank you all so much for tuning in. Again, my name's Cryptic. I've been here with Zeke Exotics. Thank you, Fissure. Thank you, 1xBet, for putting this tournament together. We'll see you tomorrow. Have a wonderful evening.